take. The fun begins, we're here to stay. Ready, set, replay.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the fourth, I believe, episode of Ready, Set, Replay, the ultimate video game rewatch podcast. And today, we're going to be talking about Mario Parties 1 and 2. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skyler.
That's me.
Skyler, it's been a minute since we've recorded one of these. Hopefully it won't be representative in the time that our fan base is listening to this, but for us it has been, I believe, like 2 months. So I believe we need to extra hard get back into our mind palace.
Here we go.
So let me conjure your mind palace, okay?
Do we mind palace at all for 1998?
No, we're
Because-
skipping over 98.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I only pulled things for Mario Party 2. That's the one that is the one from 2000. I felt like
so-
I didn't want to do both.
To quickly preface that, as you know, this series we're doing the big releases of the year 2000, but not unlike us playing Banjo-Kazooie so that we could get ready for Tooie. We figured, why we can't start at Mario Party 2. Let's also play Mario Party 1 as well.
Right, because so
That
much of the
is
conversation is how they compare to each other.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, really.
So it felt important for us to do that way. Also, it may be worth mentioning that the previous 3 episodes were not in chronological order, but going forward, they will be at least closer in chronological order. We just wanted to get a couple of sort of bigger name ones out there first to have people be interested in them. So we did Banjo and Banjo-Tooie and Perfect Dark, 3 very big, rare games. And now we're just going to go through the year in as close to chronological order as we can manage. So we're starting all the way at the beginning. Mario Party 2 came out January 24th of the year 2000.
Wow, the new millennium.
The new millennium.
Y2K didn't happen. We didn't all die.
We didn't all die.
Where were you on Y2K?
And I was going to ask you that myself, actually. So my parents threw a New Year's party. I have vague memories of it, keeping in mind I was like 5, I think. All I remember is that my mom picked me up and walked me over to the very old, very bad TV. It still, I'm pretty sure, had knobs on it that you turned physically to change the channel. We didn't have a remote. And we had this ugly-ass yellow recliner chair in front of it. Actually, I don't even remember if it reclined. It was just an ugly-ass yellow chair that we got rid of very quickly. And she said that I needed to remember this because it was going to be... it was a huge thing. It was the turn of the millennium. And that is the only thing I remember about that night. So it worked, I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you have any Y2K memories?
I do, but only for a very specific reason. So, obviously, as a little, what would I have been? 4 years old at the time. I didn't know that the world was allegedly going to end on the stroke of midnight.
Right.
In 1999, New Year's. So, my family, because we lived in Northern California at the time. We hadn't moved to Southern California yet, but nevertheless... New Year's Eve, we went to Disneyland, and there was like a big new millennium, like Disneyland celebration countdown thing, right?
Yeah.
And I still have vivid memories of like, wow, Disneyland always does fireworks and special holiday celebrations, but this one being the turn of a new millennium was extra special. And then, like, it's funny, like, you grow up and you're like, oh, people thought we were gonna die?
Yeah.
What was my family doing?
No, I mean, it seems like it was one of those things where the larger group of people really didn't believe that. I called my mom today, actually, and asked her, like, hey, what happened Y2K? What was that? What was happening? And she was very much like, oh, I don't know. Like, people were freaking out, but it wasn't much. And so I actually went and I watched a couple of documentaries about Y2K because I wanted to know, like, what the situation was. So I want to speak to you on the craziness that was Y2K because we'll never have a better opportunity than now.
Before you do that, though,
Yeah.
I want to hashtag humble brag.
Yes.
Continuing talking about, wow, that was such an old person thing for me to say.
It really was. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I'm 30. Anyways, I was saying how we went to Disneyland for the new millennium. That in itself is already like a brag. I don't remember if it was specifically for like the year 2000 or if it was because around the same time-ish, the Disney's California Adventure was opening next door to Disneyland, right?
Right.
There was a thing that they were doing, I guess a promotional event, some type, where your family could purchase like a little brick that is paved into the pathway just outside of the park, leading into like the turnstiles. If that matters. Yeah, one of these little special bricks that says your name and the date it was put in or something like that. And I have one of those because of this little event.
Have you ever
My
like
name.
specifically tried to track it down?
It is so hard to find. As a
Yeah.
kid, I was really good at finding it, but then I guess they kept, putting in more and more and more and more, and then they eventually stopped. I think I don't believe you could do it anymore. But yeah, I used to whenever I would go as a Californian with a year pass. Woohoo! I can't afford that now. I would be able to find it. I can't now, but every time my grandpa makes it out that way, he'll go to this area and he'll point it out, take a picture. So it's pretty faded by now.
I'm sure.
There's no like upkeep. It's just a brick in the ground. But I also have a little like, not crystal, basically like a hard plastic, but like a replica on a little stand of my brick that I have on my shelf.
Oh,
So that's I don't know, it seemed pertinent to the story at the time. But
Yeah,
yes,
it's
let's talk about
cute.
how crazy people got.
yeah. Now that we're done with your very cute and adorable family moment, let's talk about that time that people thought the world was gonna end.
Well,
uh,
maybe it should have. That's all I'm gonna say.
do you know exactly why people thought that the world was going to end?
Yeah, so it was a it was a computer thing.
Hmm.
People assumed, I guess completely unfactually, that because the way that 90s computers stored data, like it was dated like 2 digits.
Yes.
So they assumed like we get to the year, the year is 1997, so it says 97. The next year says 98, and then 99, and then they assumed when it rolls over to 2000, computer wouldn't know what to do, so everything that ran on computers was just gonna stop.
Yeah, they thought it was gonna stop, and some people took it way further because it's exactly like you said. This was a real thing, so that aspect of Y2K was real. When those things rolled over to 00, people didn't know exactly what was going to happen, and so because of that, there were a handful of very loud, very I'll just say evil people who were very heavily fear mongering for their own personal gains. The first one that we're going to talk about is called Peter de Jaeger. Peter de Jaeger. He was a former and I believe probably spurned computer programmer who went around the country, like company to company, business to business, and then eventually news channel to news channel, telling people that the world is going to end, basically telling people like everything is going to go wrong, all the computers are going to shut down, all the money's going to disappear from the banks, the nukes are going to go off because they're all tied to the computer, and this is what's going to happen. And I told them about it a couple years ago, and they didn't do anything, and blah 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 blah. And he went across the country doing this, and eventually, in the documentary I watched, he was asked on live TV. He's like, they asked him, "Are you making a living scaring people to death?" And he said, "I'm making a living telling people the truth. If that scares them, don't shoot the messenger." Because he was making tons of money for like
Yeah.
book deals and showing up on TV channels. So he
Well,
made a
you
lot of
gotta
money
get-
after
you
scaring
gotta
the hell
get
out
the
of
book
people.
deal. You gotta get the book deal, Daniel.
And I will say, weirdly, he is the least evil of the people that we're going to talk about, because he, by the time the year was clocking down and some of the other people were getting really crazy, he started backtracking. He was like, well, they've done a lot of work. Like, I think it'll be fine now. So he backtracked, and I have to give him at least some amount of leeway on that, because there were a ton of other business people who we won't talk about who were just like really taking advantage of it to like scared old women. And like there were trade shows where it's like, these are the gadgets that you're going to need to survive Y2K, and we're going to sell you these like solar powered things that probably don't even work, and like all kinds of and like the purchases of guns and knives went through the roof, because like, oh, if I can't access my emails, next best thing is shooting a guy, so I got to go get my gun, I guess.
It's so magic to think like, oh boy, we've always been stupid.
Yeah, well, and if you think
It's not just our era.
Well, and if you think things have changed, then you should also know that at these same conventions where people were doing that and selling rip-off gadgets to old women who were scared, they were also selling T-shirts that were anti-Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton.
Nice.
So literally it's the exact same group of people that we're dealing with today, but just older. One of the worst of these people, in my opinion, was a guy called John Trockman. John Trockman used the fear and anti-government sentiment to create a militia in Montana.
That's always good.
He hit the well. I think it already existed, but he like used it as a way of like rallying people to his cause. And he has this thing. It's called the Militia of Montana, which is unironically abbreviated to MOM.
Nice.
And he was like, the Clintons are ruining our nation, and we gotta band together. And here's some guns, partner. We're gonna go shoot up the government. And like that was his whole thing. And I have to stress, this militia still exists, but like no one cares anymore because it's like 6 guys.
I want to jump in. If you're listening right now and you live in Montana and you talk like that, or don't, please write in and let us know.
Yeah. I'm sure that was a really good accent. But also, if you live in Montana and you know the militia of Montana, tell me all of the stories because I am fascinated by these people. It is not great. They are my true crime podcast.
Is the mom still up and running?
The mom is still up and running, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
John Chalkman died years ago, but the mom still exists.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know, right? And speaking of God, a bunch of, not all, I'm not going to blame the entire Catholic Church, but there were a handful of, namely televangelists, but also regular evangelists, who started telling people in their congregations that somehow also during the year 2000, it was the end times, and like the earth would shake and the oceans would rise and Jesus would walk the earth again.
Well, some of that's true. I don't know if Jesus is walking around right now. If he is, he should probably make his presence known because we need some help.
Yeah, Jesus, take the wheel. So because of all of this, there was a fairly large number of people, like polling, I think, was in like the 12 to 20% range, depending on how they asked it, of people who genuinely believed like something really bad was going to happen at Y2K.
Whether it was what people were predicting, like the computers were going to shut off and something was going to explode, or if it's a bunch of idiots who stockpiled guns over the last year, going out and
at a
doing
certain point, the fear
really
stopped
stupid.
being the computers are going to go down, and it started being these morons are going to start shooting people.
Makes perfect sense now.
Which that one is actually a pretty legitimate fear, in my opinion.
Yeah, if I was an adult back then, that's probably what I would. That's probably why I wouldn't have taken my family to Disneyland, if I'm being honest.
Because all of these idiots are making other idiots, but innocent idiots, believe that like all the computers are going to go down and all the prison gates are just going to magically open and dams are going to break and start flooding and like all the money's going to disappear out of the banks and planes will fall out of the sky. All the nukes are either going to launch themselves or explode in the silos, and then all the way down to Satan and Jesus will walk the earth and it's the end times, get ready for Ragnarok, motherfucker. All of this. And in reality, obviously, none of that happened. There were some very minor glitches that happened where like alarm systems went off because computers were like, well, hey, what's going on? But like,
oh man,
nothing went wrong. Nothing went
Imagine
wrong.
You're one of these nut jobs with the stockpile of guns and your home alarm system starts beeping at you. You're like, it's happening.
Yeah. So the worst things that happened there were some runs on groceries and supplies and stuff, which seems to happen every time that there's one of these. But this didn't occur because we're in the year 2000, the very beginning of the year 2000. Most of the systems that we're talking about, like the nukes or the ones that operate gates, those things don't access the internet. The internet barely exists at this point.
Yeah,
like people were afraid that their cars wouldn't start because they would think that they hadn't been serviced since 1900, because that's what they thought is like, oh, the 19 is implied, so when it rolls over to 00, it'll think it's 1900. They'll be like, oh, it hasn't been serviced in 100 years. But your computer in your car doesn't connect to the internet, so like, how's it gonna know, right?
That's not how an engine works.
Well, and the other aspect of this, I know, right? Well, and the other aspect of this is people knew that this was going to be a problem since 1958, which is like 10 years after computers existed, and they had been working since then to stop it from happening. So most important systems were already corrected, and then all of the other ones, people were just going in and like changing things, like a couple lines of code here and there, so that it wouldn't do it. There was an entire, like, the government was on it, all of these different data agencies were on it, and like fixing little smaller problems, updating things. If anything, the fear of Y2K caused people to update their computers in such a way that technology started booming even more afterwards, because everything was up to date, because they were afraid that the old stuff was going to explode or whatever.
That first guy that started all the hype, did he have stock in Microsoft?
I have no idea. Probably not. because I think he got fired from someplace. I don't know
Good.
where it was, but I think that's why he was so pissy. Also, when that Peter Dieger, when he went on all those shows, he was wearing a tie with like clocks on it. That's what he's most known for. And he's like, "This is my doomsday clock tie," and everyone was
Oh.
like, "Brother, like you're not even taking the thing that you want us to take seriously."
Now, if it had a clock that he could actually move the hand,
Then
it'd
I'm
be
in.
like,
Yeah, then I'm buying a gun. Yeah.
We're 2 minutes to midnight. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
So
vote for him.
it was never an issue at all. And the government was constantly saying it's not an issue. They created an agency and hired a guy specifically to check to see if there were any issues and correct any ones that would crop up. There was there was so much investigation and work going into it. They spent a lot of money on it, even though they probably didn't have to, because most other countries spent way less money and had the same number of problems, which was nothing. And it was just a complete cluster caused by a handful of loud fearmongers who wanted to prey on other people's fear to make money for themselves, as it always is.
Welcome to the United States of America.
And so that was Y2K.
Yeah, thank you all for listening to the Y2K special.
Thank
You
you.
can follow us on. Oh no, wait, there's more, right?
There's more. So also, because we're at the end of January, there's a couple of things that I want to throw in here. So we're coming up on the Super Bowl, and in the wild card playoffs between the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills, we had one of the most famous things to ever happen in football, the Music City Miracle.
Music City Miracle.
The Music City Miracle was after a field goal, the Bills were up 16-15 against the Titans.
Yeah.
And the game had 16 seconds left. They kick the ball off. It's caught by a fullback named Lorenzo Neal, who immediately hands it off to their tight end, Frank Wycheck, who then laterals it to a different guy who's a receiver, I think, called Kevin Dyson, who then runs 75 yards for a touchdown.
Very nice.
It was really cool. Really, really cool. And
God.
still to this day, one of the most amazing things to happen in football.
Something
apparently.
about watching football and then just when an unexpected lateral happens, like you immediately jump out of your seat. You're
You
like,
go,
"What is
"Ooh."
happening?"
Yeah.
it's the most edge of your seat thing that can happen.
We also had, in sort of the vein of sports, one day before, on January 23rd, we had Royal Rumble 2000.
Oh, yo.
This was at Madison Square Garden. It was the 100th pay-per-view for WWF.
Wow.
The main story going into it, if you remember this story, was Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were now kayfabe married because of the drive-through potentially
yes.
illegal marriage.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely,
she had
that would not
just
stand in
heel
court.
turned against Vince and sided with Triple H. So now they're like for real together and in love, and they are anti-establishment against Vince and for some reason the Rock and Sock Connection, who are working for Vince at this point.
Right. Yeah.
So
Very neat.
there's 6 matches on the card. I'm not going to go through all of them. The important ones are that Triple H does win his match against Cactus Jack. He defends his championship.
Jack.
And The Rock
Dwayne.
wins the Royal Rumble. He entered at 25th, and the last person he eliminated was The Big Show, who was so big, how would we ever get him over the rope?
There's controversy with this one.
Is there?
Yeah, I think Rock's feet touched the floor.
Oh, it's that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't
so
do the,
people
the
people
Lex Luger
jokingly
one.
people jokingly say that Big Show won the 2000 Royal Rumble.
That's really funny.
For those who are listening and don't know or care, the Royal Rumble is a 30-man wrestling match where you win by being the last person in the ring.
Yes.
You throw everyone else over the top rope. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was at one point thrown over the rope, but he held onto the rope. This is a move called skinning the cat, where you pull yourself back in.
Yes.
Although I don't remember if he actually did the full skin the cat move, or he just pulled.
I mean, if
himself
his
in.
feet touched the ground, he didn't do it well.
But yeah, no. So he held onto the rope, but he dropped just low enough that both of his feet touched the floor. And I think the camera caught it, right? So everyone saw it, but
Ugh.
you just it didn't happen.
Oops, that's not in the scripts. Don't worry about it. Well, in the world of film, the box office for January is led by Stuart Little and The Green Mile.
No way. You couldn't ask for 2 more different movies. than
Stuart
that.
Little was #1 and The Green Mile was #2.
Wow.
And here's a weird one. Galaxy Quest is #5.
Hey, I love Galaxy Quest
I like a Galaxy Quest, but it terrified me as a kid for some reason.
because the little bitey alien guys.
I think it's because the little bitey alien guys. I don't know. I think we watched it as a kid once, and I was like, not today. And then I hated it for like 10 years because I was afraid of it.
Are we gonna talk about Galaxy Quest eventually in our Star Trek series? Because it's an unofficial Star Trek movie in a way.
I'm down if you're down.
It'll happen.
In the world of television, Saved by the Bell had its series finale in January, and Malcolm in the Middle premiered.
Wow. Crazy. One door closes, another one opens.
And lastly, in the world of music, Sharon Osbourne, I only wrote this because it's funny. Sharon Osbourne quit as the manager of Smashing Pumpkins after only 3 months, and she said it was for medical reasons because Billy Corgan was making her sick.
That is funny. Billy Corgan's a weird dude.
Number one on Billboard was
For those
I Knew I
for
Loved
those
You
of you who
by...
don't for those of you who don't know, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
It still ties into wrestling. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins currently owns and operates the National Wrestling Alliance (NWA).
Yeah, I forgot about that, but that is true.
And I haven't kept up with what the NWA's been doing for a while, but when he first started, he was bad. He was bad at it,
Yeah.
so he might still be bad at it. I don't know.
Anyway, so on the Billboard, number one is I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden. And number two is What a Girl Wants by Christina Aguilera. And I have to mention it because I feel like it is so indicative of the year 2000. Blue is number 6 by Eiffel 65.
Oh, abadi abadai.
That's the one. So,
Well,
are you
that-
feeling
you know what?
2000s?
Everything you were saying was like, yeah, okay, you're 2000. I kind of remember it. Yeah, okay, yeah, that Royal Rumble happened, sure.
Yeah.
Not until you said blue. Now I know. Now I feel it. Now I'm there.
Now we know we are in the 2000s. If you are seeing I'm Blue and someone else is saying Dabba Dee Dabba Die, you know that the 2000s have occurred. But that
And we're
brings
sorry
us-
for that.
And we're sorry for it. Honestly, like I was 5, but I am responsible and I apologize. But that brings us to Mario Party. So the first Mario Party came out February 8th, 1999. And it started a now, I think, like 20 game long series.
I thought it was a 98 game.
I have written 99, but I will double check.
No, I'm gonna double check first so that I can gotcha.
It may have released in 98 in Japan, but I used the American release dates.
1998. Oh, look at you go. December 18th, 1998.
In Japan.
February 8th, 1999. That's crazy.
That's,
Well, then maybe
that's
then
how we get them.
I gotta switch something on my end then.
For consistency's sake, I always use the American release dates because those are the ones that
Oh, yeah,
would
that's-
be relevant for our nostalgia. So.
Because America first. We understand, Daniel.
Yeah, now especially I'm feeling very nationalist. Wow. Anyway, Mario Party 1. Where do you want to start with this? Do you want to start with the opening cutscene where everyone's fighting about whether or not they're a superstar and it's really awkward?
We can start there. I think we should start with like a viewer discretion advised kind of thing. Like, if you, well, hopefully most people know what Mario Party is.
Right. Okay. That's a good idea. So Mario Party is it is a Mario video game where you play as the cast of Mario. So it's Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Peach, yada yada, etc. And you play effectively just board games. You roll a dice, you move on the block, and you try to get to the star. You have to buy it with coins that you earn by largely winning mini games that you play at the end of every round. So it's a combination like board game, but the challenge in the board game is a video game element, which is pretty cool and novel at that time.
The reason I say like a viewer discretion type thing is if you're listening to this and you're like, oh yeah, Mario Party, I'll go play that with my friends.
Don't
You want to keep those friends?
do it.
Because this game, man, brings out the worst in people.
Brings out the worst in me. It makes me mad.
Yeah.
Mostly, like, more than anything, the first one, but all of them just, they make me upset. They make me upsetty spaghetti. I am not a happy camper. I truly believe, and this is maybe a spoiler for how this conversation is going to go for me, I truly believe that at the time, the people working at Hudson Soft who made this, and Nintendo published it, but Hudson Soft made Mario Party. I believe that they were the monsters for Monsters Incorporated, but
Oh,
instead of powering their city through the screams and or laughter of children, it was through gamer rage.
broken
Broken
controllers,
controllers and gamer rage,
smashed
the two
CRT
true
television.
energies. Because this game feels like it was built in a lab to be as frustrating as possible,
I
especially
wouldn't go.
playing it with Steven.
Oh, friend of the show, Steven. Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't go that far. Um, all right, listen. My thoughts on this game are thus:
Yes.
if I am asked by a friend of mine that I have a podcast with to play Mario Party, like, hey, just play it on the Switch, get a feel of all the levels and stuff. I can do that myself against the AI and be like, all right, I'll do one game. 20 turns seems like a lot of time. If you play it with a friend, God forbid a friend that's better than you
Yeah.
at everything, you it's not,
You're not
no.
gonna have a fun time. You're just not gonna have a fun time.
Oh my goodness.
They're gonna go day at the races and then not tell you what that means, and then the game will start and you'll be like,
Oh my God. Try being the friend that's like never played Mario Party,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
me. That's me. That's been me
you're
for.
playing with three other people who have played Mario Party, and then you get to a mini game thing, and they're like, "Oh, it's this one," and they
Yeah,
press start, and you're like, "Wait, what do we do?" And they're like, "Oh, you'll figure it out."
yeah. Hate that. That's the worst. Ugh. But anyway, so the opening cutscene. I have two questions, which is number one, is it weird that Wario's here? Isn't he a
Man,
bad
I
guy?
okay.
We friends with that dude?
I asked that same question, um, and my answer is basically like what I came to. It's like, well, yeah, Wario is dirty and he farts and he's like a bad guy. He's described and designed to be Mario's arch nemesis,
Hmm.
although Bowser's the arch nemesis. Let's be real. He's also like, I don't know. He's like family, right? So he's kind of you gotta play with your weird cousin sometimes.
He's that cousin that you that you don't invite to Thanksgiving anymore, but when he shows up, you just have to deal with it.
Sure.
But yeah, the playable characters here are Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Wario, and Donkey Kong, which feels like a good setup. And I asked this when we were looking at it. I was like, when we were playing it originally, I was like, does Waluigi not exist yet? And he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't exist.
Waluigi not born at this time.
His debut is Tennis or Tennis,
Yeah,
right?
which I think is maybe also this year or like 2001. It's soon. We're getting close to it, but he does not yet exist. Anyway, they're all fighting over like who's going to be the superstar, which I guess is a thing that is important to them. And then Toad's like, I know how you can figure out who's the biggest superstar. Jump in my pipe, bro, and go play some games.
Yeah, Toad says, "You want to know who's the coolest? I invented Squid Game. Come with me."
Yeah, that's a little more true than it should be. Oh no. So do you want to talk about the boards first? The different boards?
Sure, we can run through that.
So Mario Party 1, you've got Donkey Kong's Jungle Adventure. That's reportedly the easy difficulty one, although I think it's also like
Yeah.
one of the less fun ones.
Each board gives like a little star rating of like this one's 1 star difficulty, this one's 2 star difficulties, this one's 3. And I think in Mario Party 1, that's all bullshit.
Yeah, it
Mario
doesn't
Party
feel correct.
2, Mario Party 2, like the difficulty ratings are a bit more on the nose. Like, okay, that's more correct. This one, some of it, the Donkey Kong one, no.
Yeah.
That's my review.
So it's a fairly normal map. The only thing really different about it is that when you step on a happening square, which is the one that makes something on the map happen, you get
Yeah.
chased by a Indiana Jones boulder. And
Which
then there's
which
the thwomps who
basically,
charge you tolls. Those are the only two things I can remember.
to describe why this boulder is a problem, is so as Daniel said, there's little green spaces with a question mark on it, and if you land on that, something on the map is going to happen. And there's this long stretch that has a couple of these happening spots because if you land on it, it drops this boulder and it chases your character basically back towards the start. Not all the way, but you have to like finish the loop of the board to go to the start and then try again.
Yeah.
So if everyone starts, and then the star that you need to get, there's only one on the board. It's way off over on the left side of the board. And if 3 people in a row are trying to make it over to where the star is, and then one asshole lands on this happening thing, everyone gets chased back to the front. No one gets a star. We're
No one
all
gets
just back at the
anything.
front. So this one has the potential to be very annoying, as it was to me a couple of times.
It has the potential of getting through like 20 turns and no one has the star still.
Are you gonna? Do you want to put up pictures of the maps on the YouTube thing?
Yeah,
as
I'll
we're
put
doing it?
map pictures
All
up for
right.
sure.
Okay, cool.
Um,
This
but yeah, I didn't care for this one. I think it's largely unoffensive, but just like not fun.
well, also theming wise, it's just kind of It's dirt and trees, and then there's some bananas in the background
Yeah.
and Donkey Kong music. That's really it.
Yeah, and then when you win on this one, you like open a treasure chest and you get a bunch of gold bananas, and like that's the
Yay,
prize, and you go,
Donkey
wow.
Kong.
Like we're gonna get to some of the things that happen when you win in these maps, and it's like weird. This is incredibly tame by those standards.
Yeah. Most importantly, for most of these maps, the loser, whoever comes in fourth place of the players, gets like beat up or punished in some way.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happens
On this one, you get chased by the boulder.
Oh, chased by the boulder.
You're in the
of course.
background getting chased by the boulder.
And everyone else is like, "Yeah, we didn't lose," or
Yay, golden banana.
"Yay, I won."
Yeah.
And then some poor guy is always getting chased in the back.
Yeah. So map 2 is Peach's birthday cake, and I also dislike this one. I think aesthetically it's really pretty.
Yeah,
But there's the bit where the Goomba's like, you got to pick a seed, and if you pick the wrong seed, then you don't get to play the game.
yeah. So it's you're playing. The board is a big cake on like a tea time table,
Yeah.
right? Which is fun and cute, and you basically go in this big spiral to where Toad is with the star. He doesn't move in this one. He's always in the same spot.
Mhm.
But to get to Toad, you have to cross a Goomba, as Daniel said, who's like, pick one of these 4 options in their colors. You pick one, and then 3 of the 4. I don't know if the odds change the further you go.
No idea.
I don't think that happened for me, anyways. But yeah, 3 of these little options will send you to Toad, and you can buy the star if you have the coins. And then one of them will send you off to a different cake. You have to go down, and then Bowser's there. And if you come across Bowser, he'll take your coins, he'll take your star, he'll
Yeah,
bully you, he'll
he'll
make
just
you do a
kick your
bad
ass.
mini game. You don't want to go to Bowser.
You never want to go to Bowser at any point in any of these games.
Yeah. So this one,
'Cause he's a
yeah,
dickhead.
again, I like how this one looks. It's
Yeah.
cuter. It fits the. I mean, there's a map for every character. That's basically what we're working with here.
Which is
and,
nice. I like
And
that.
this one fits Peach
Can I
more
tell
than
you?
Donkey Kong in the Jungle.
I picked the wrong seed 3 times
Yeah.
in a row.
Ooh. Now, all right. Here's something we're going to. Ooh, maybe I should save this actually. You know what? I will save it. Let's talk about the rest of the maps, and then we'll get into the chances of getting things in this game.
Oh no, yeah. Okay, so in this one, the only other thing is that if you step on a happening square, then you can pay, I think it's 30 coins, and then you plant a piranha plant who will steal a star for you? Or is it coins?
If yes, so
Because I never
you-
actually did it, because I didn't want to.
I did it a couple times when I was playing on this map. Worth mentioning, we didn't just exclusively play this by ourselves, like Alone in the
No,
Dark.
we also
we
played
did.
it in
We
a
did
group.
play some of these together with each other, with other friends in person.
That is the way that
Um,
Mario Party is intended to be played, so we played it
Yeah,
that way.
that's what you're supposed to. do.
But we wanted
But
to
we
play
did do
all
that.
of the maps, and each one of those games takes like an hour, and we
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to do that.
But yeah,
you know,
on
10,
one of the
12
ones,
hours.
on one of the ones I was playing by myself, I did this one, and I kept putting down piranha plants like every time I could.
Mm,
No one ever landed on one, so
yeah, that sounds
it's a
about
waste
right.
of money because it's like 30 coins each time. A star costs 20 coins for the record, so you need to have at least 20 coins to buy a star.
Yeah, 20 for a star, 30 for a plant. And then when you win, the cake, candles on the cake light up, and you have a good time. And the loser gets bitten by a piranha plant.
Yeah, it gets eaten
Yeah.
alive. It's crazy, scary.
That brings us to map number 3, board number 3, I should say, Yoshi's Tropical Island. This one's cute. I like this one. It's pretty standard. It is 2 circles that you can jump between by paying a thwomp toll. And the only thing is if you step on the happening circle, the Bowser is on one side and the star is on the other. And if you step on the happening space, then those two things swap.
Yeah.
So on this one, you don't have to land on the Bowser space to get him. It's just if you walk past him. So if you're on the wrong side when it swaps, then you kind of just are going to lose however many coins.
I love the theme of this one.
Yeah.
I hate playing on this one. I kind of actually refuse to play on Yoshi's Island.
Really? I think for me, for Mario Party 1, I think this is my favorite map.
Oh, interesting, because let me tell you, the amount of times you're like, all right, there's Toad happening. Well, now it's Bowser.
Yeah.
I mean, this is not the only map that has that gimmick. There's another one that I also don't like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This one is also the only one that I mean, I think they all in their own sense have a little story to them. But this one is the one to me that the story is most obvious when you start, because there's in the middle of the 2 islands you're playing on, there's a small little island with a pink Yoshi that's stuck.
Yeah.
There's whirlpools, something bad's going on, and there's a little blue Yoshi trying to get to her.
Yeah.
Or him.
And when you win, the stars that you've collected become a bridge so that they can get together.
Yeah, and then you save the little pink
It's
Yoshi,
really cute.
which is cool.
I like it.
I'm struggling to think what the story is for. I mean, I guess on the Donkey Kong map you can see that chest.
Yeah, you're trying to get the treasure, I guess. And then on Peach's birthday cake, it's Peach's birthday. That's the story. Have we already gotten to your favorite map? Is it one of those 3?
No.
Okay. Well, let us know when we get there.
It's next, I think.
Oh, okay. If it's the next one that I have on my list, we're gonna have words. But the loser gets eaten by a fish. On Yoshi's Tropical Island.
Another getting eaten. It's not fun.
So that brings us to the next one. I swear to God, if you say this is your favorite one, I swear on God, is Wario's Battle Canyon.
Okay, so listen.
No, Skyler, no.
In a world of no great options,
That's true. There's not a lot of great ones. There's
I choose this one. I choose this one.
I swear to God, Sky. Okay, justify.
So this one is
Why do you hate this one less?
5 separate little boards that are just circles, and then at the end of each circle, there's a little bomb that loads you into a cannon and shoots you to another circle. And then when you are being shot to another board, another circle, there's a little random, you can see where you're going to land, but it changes every second.
You have to time it to land.
So you have to time it okay, I gotta land where I want to land, and then there's added math to it, right? Because you can if I land here, then I move 3 spaces, and then I land on, then that's the spot I'm going to be on. So I want to do that.
But you can't do that math while you're waiting for it to move around. It's impossible.
Oh, you can do it, my friend.
I don't believe you.
You could.
I don't believe that you were able to successfully do that.
You can't do it well, but you can do it.
All right, that's fair. No, you got me there. That's true.
And then if you land on the happening space on this one, it just turns the cannons around and it goes in a different order.
Yes. Yeah. So, and the story of this one is that there's the black bob-ombs and the red bob-ombs, and they are at war. And this is a war that has gone on for a very long time. And every time you get a star, Toad goes, "This war has been so terrible. The bob-ombs are so tired." And it's sad. It's sad to be here. It's a sad place to hang out.
I didn't even realize that the bob-ombs were, that it was race-based. I didn't realize that.
They're having a race. They're having a bomb race war.
They are having a bomb race war.
And then when you win, you end the war, and they fly a flag that is half red and half black, and they're like, we're all bombs now, baby.
Yeah, that makes sense. Bowser's in a little island in the middle.
Yeah.
Does that imply he's instigating this?
I believe he is supplying weapons to the bombs.
Oh, that bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The thing that I don't like about this map is that you can't choose to not get in the cannon. So if you mess up the timing of the cannon shot, you have to go all the way around the board again. Yeah. It's 5 things.
Or pray for a happening.
Yeah. This for me was the most annoying map, and by kind of a lot.
Interesting.
I didn't have a good time here, but I'm glad you did.
I don't know. I guess I just like Wario. For the record, of the 6 characters that you could play as in this one, my go-to is Wario. I
My
don't know.
go-to was Luigi.
Well, okay. All the cool kids want to think they could be Luigi. They're like, oh, I'll pick Luigi. I identify with the fat man.
Look, Wario's caked up. Ain't nothing wrong with Wario, but I'm Luigi.
I stand Wario as long as no war crimes are being committed.
Well, unfortunately, his map is a race war, so
But that's not his fault,
I
surely.
I don't know, man. It's Wario's Battle Canyon.
It's his canyon, but the bombs are. Listen, I don't know. Okay.
He's complicit at least.
All right. All right. Fine. I'll say the Yoshi one because it's got a pirate ship in the background. Okay.
It's
You're
kinda
not
cute.
you're gonna pin war crimes on me.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You can like the war crimes. That's fine. I won't judge
Oh, the show's over.
you. Well, that brings us to the next map, which is Luigi's Engine Room. I also don't like particularly care for this one because it's just kind of ugly to look at.
It's really drab. And you know what's crazy is we'll jump forward to when you win it.
Yeah.
It's just like the engine turns on, I guess, and it's revealed we're in a boat.
Yeah, we're in like a flying boat, and I'm like, oh, so there's cool part that this map is in a cool place. You just can't see
Yeah.
it. Okay, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's lame as
Yeah.
hell.
Not a fan of this one. I don't know why Luigi got pegged with a engine room on a flying boat. Doesn't
Luigi.
There might
always
be
gets
some
screwed
lore
over.
reason from a game I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Couldn't tell you. Yeah, there's really nothing else to say about it. It's a long map. When you step on the happening square, there's these like red and blue walls that raise and lower to block off certain paths. That's the only thing. It's honestly like a pretty basic map. I don't know. I don't care for it. It's not terrible, I guess.
The red and blue walls change every turn, but they also change if you land on happening.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's also happenings that you can land on that will like make you jump in a warp pipe to go to a different side of the map.
Yeah. Oh, is it
yeah.
worth mentioning that every single time that you do a loop on this map, you have to pass Boo, which means it is, I think, the most stealingist, that's not a word, but you know what I mean, map of them all. Because every time you pass Boo, you can either have him steal coins for you or pay him 50 coins to steal a star. And if every single character is passing that guy every single time they go around, that is 4 thefts every
I guess
round. It's
That's a
lot
good
of theft.
point. That's a good point that I hadn't thought of. Yeah, this is the one where to start again, you have to pass Boo. That is correct. I never thought about
You
that.
have to do theft. It's the most theftingest.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Then we've got Mario's Rainbow Castle. I think this is like the most classic one. Like this is the one
Yeah,
that I
this
think of the most from this game, I think.
This would be, I mean, it's the Mario map. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a castle up in the clouds, and when you get to the end, Toad is up at the top of the castle. But then when you get the star, then it rotates and it changes to Bowser, and he gives you a fake star that still charges you. And also, if you step on the happening square, then it spins it beforehand. So it's just like, will you get there when the tower has the right guy on it, or will you get screwed?
It's a funny thing. Bowser does a funny thing when you get screwed by him every map. So in this one, he gives you a fake star.
Yeah.
A Zatar, I believe it's called.
Yeah, he just turns into a Z.
And
Like on the Yoshi one, he gives you a fake floaty that breaks, and then he charges you for it.
And my favorite is in the Wario one. He's just like, "Hey, look over there," and he kicks you into his cannon and charges you for it.
But yeah, I don't have a ton to say about this one. Like, it's really easy to get screwed over on it, but it still feels kind of fair, so I'm not that upset about it.
Sure, it's got classic Mario Party vibes. And when you win, this is the one that creates a big rainbow up to the top, right?
Yeah, you take a rainbow bridge up to the castle, and then the loser slides off and like.
Yeah, the
falls
loser
to his
is
death,
not
presumably.
permitted to enter heaven.
Yeah, the pearly gates won't open for someone with no stars.
No. So those are the 6 maps that you start with. There are 2 unlockable maps.
And they're kind of a pain in the ass to unlock.
Yeah, in different ways. Well, one is way more pain in the ass than the other. So the first one you unlock, and you unlock by you play on all of the 6 maps.
Mhm.
Then you can buy from the shop the Bowser's Magma Mountain, and it's like 980 coins.
Yeah,
And that's, I mean,
that's a lot of coins.
Well, so again, it depends, right? Because if you're playing with other people, if there's 4 people playing, then at the end of the game, all of your stars and coins all go into the little bank, right? If you're playing by yourself or whatever, any computer controlled character, you don't get their coins or stars.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
if you're teaming up with your friends or your brother and sister, you can probably raise the money in a game or two, couple of games maybe. I don't remember how fast you're getting money. But and it's all the money that you end the game with,
Yeah.
too. That's important. But yeah, so 980 coins took a minute to get that. Of course, like an idiot, I forgot because I was playing this on the Switch. For the record, and I know I said this for like both Banjo and Banjo-Tooie. I have this on the N64, and this is how I've always played it on the N64. But just for it's on the Switch like virtual N64 thing. It's the easiest way to play it this time around. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. Which means I had to go from scratch, of course, to unlock these maps to play them.
True.
So, but yeah, so Bowser's Magma Mountain is the first one you unlock, and it's more or less it's similar to it's like a Bowser version of the Rainbow Castle, kinda.
Yeah. Basically, there's
Um,
the only difference that I can remember is there's the statues that like will open up a shortcut for you.
oh yeah, but you have to win a roll to use them.
Yeah. And it's also the first board that when you win, the nothing bad happens to the loser. You just kick the hell
Yeah,
out of Bowser.
you beat Bowser.
Yeah. It's-
And the happening spaces on this one. So we've talked about happening spaces. They're green. There are blue spaces. You land on those and you get 3 coins. There are red spaces. You land on those, you lose 3 coins. And predominantly, most of the board is going to be blue spaces because it wants you to earn the coins to be able to wager, lose in mini games, buy stars, etc. This one, if anyone lands on a happening space for like a turn or two, every blue space becomes a red space, and the red spaces become blue spaces. And there's only like 4 red spaces. So there's only like
oh,
4
yeah.
places you can land that you're not gonna lose money.
It's rough. It's pretty rough. And then the very last board is called Eternal Star. This one you unlock by getting 100 stars in all the other ones, which takes a minute, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Because you're probably only getting like maybe 3, maybe 4 tops in a
especially
time.
if you're playing. Yeah, if you're playing by yourself, if you're on a really good game, you're gonna be walking away with like 8, maybe 9 stars. And that's like if you're really doing it, you know. It's gonna take you a minute to unlock this one from scratch, but it's cool. So it's a big star in space
That's
that
broken.
Bowser has taken over. So did you do this when we played it this time around? Did you unlock the Eternal Star?
I did. And
Okay,
I
so you
didn't want to, but I did.
okay, right, sure.
It took so long.
The bit that happens when you get the 100 stars, because if you go to the bank, basically the little toad in there is saying, hey, you try to get 100 stars, and your gamer intuition is like, oh, I unlock something. Okay, gotta get 100 stars. Once you hit 100 stars, you go back to the main map. You know, the warp pipe in the middle that leads to like the little shop and the bank and whatever.
Uh-huh.
There's these big old Bowser-shaped footprints that are leaving the warp pipe into the bank. You're like, oh no, what is this? You go to the bank, and the guy's like, holy shit, Mario was terrible. He was here, he robbed us, he killed 3 of us. He took all the stars, my guy.
As like a little side note, is our Toad, is he just a little freak? Because in this one we see a bunch of other Toads, and they largely look like just normal people. Like there's the 2 fat guys in the bank. There's the dude with the mustache at the item shop. There's grandma at the like mini game thing. Like all the other Toads just look like dudes wearing hats. And our Toad is like a foot tall.
I mean, listen,
He's like a rat.
I don't want to get into the history of what is Toad. Is he a mushroom or is it a hat? The Super Mario Brothers Super Show would imply that it's a hat because at one point he takes it off. But I don't know, man. So, but yeah, so you jump warp pipe, and I believe it automatically makes you do this one. It's just like, here's what's next, and it's a big old specialty board. It's a star space that's all broken up and graffitied on by Bowser. Bowser's destroyed everything, and he's got his little Koopalings. I think it's funny that he comes in and he like smacks the Koopa that's been running the game. He's like, no, Baby Bowser's gonna handle this. And you have to go around and get all the stars from Baby Bowser. But yeah, so once you win the board on this one, whoever wins, you kick Bowser out, clean up the star, put it all back together. Big happy day, we win. Nobody loses on this one.
So
So
that's
that's all the maps.
that's all the boards.
But it starts us off on the grand journey.
And on that journey, we're going to be playing a bunch of mini games, and we actually are going to tier list these real fast. So if you're watching this on the YouTube version, there's actually going to be a video element of us doing this tier list. We're going to have to go through them pretty fast, though, because there are 50 of them. We're going to be going through pretty fast. And with that in mind, the first one that we have is called Buried Treasure, and this is one where you just like dig through the ground until you find a treasure chest, and the winner gets the money in the treasure chest. This one is
Right.
completely random. It's just luck of the draw. If the chest is close to you, you're gonna get it. For me, this is a C because it's just luck of the draw.
That's true. I am going to rank these based on how I feel when it says that this is what I have to play.
Yeah.
So going off of that alone, I'm gonna put it in B.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
On your video element, you could put C. I'm gonna put this one rank higher in B.
Well, no, I mean, there's only gonna be the one video element, so we're gonna have to agree on it to some extent. But
Yeah,
I'm fine putting
yeah.
it in B. That's fine.
Oh, okay.
The second one we have is Treasure Divers. So this is one of the two ones that you dive in the water and have to get money out. But this is one where you're by yourself and you have to not get hit by the shark on the way back up. For me, I don't like this one.
The by yourself one I like better than the other one. I would put this one in C. Where are you gonna put this
I
one?
agree. Yeah, I think that's a
Okay.
C for sure. It's just not fun to play, and the way that the shark and the Inklings team up, it's like, ugh, I don't know, I'm not having a good time. Then we got Hot Bomb. So this one you gotta throw the bomb, and whoever has the bomb when it goes off loses, and everyone else gets money. If you're playing by yourself, you always start holding the thing, so it's not that bad because you just hold it until it's right about to explode, and then you throw it. But I think it's pretty basic. I would put it in B. I don't think there's anything
I would put it
particularly
in, I would
great
put it
about
in B as well because I don't mind getting this one. It's low effort.
Yeah. And speaking of low effort, the next one is Musical Mushroom. So this is one where it plays music, and when it stops, you just run and jump onto a mushroom, and there's a chest floating above it, and you gotta grab it. This one is like, this is nothing. This is the most nothing mini game maybe that exists as far as I can think right now.
Kind of feel hatred towards this one a little bit because the existence of the small blue mushrooms around the big red mushroom implies you're supposed to jump on them.
They're just to distract you.
But if you try to do that, you're gonna lose. Just jump straight onto the red mushroom. I'm gonna put this one in C.
C sounds good. Then we have Crazy Cutter. In this one, you just are on a jackhammer and you cut out the shape of the guy, and the person who has most correctly cut out the shape of the guy gets the monies.
This is the real Squid Game.
This is the literal Squid Game game.
I don't hate this one. It's a little upsetting when things go wrong right off the bat. You're just like, well, I've messed this one up, haven't I? I would still put this one in B, though. I don't mind it.
Yeah. I would do either. I might even do A because it's one of the ones where I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But B, I think, is more than fair. Then we have Facelift. This one, there's a face of Bowser in the middle, and it morphs into a weird shape, and then you got to do like Mario 64 and grab the parts of his face and stretch it to match the picture in the middle.
I think, to me personally, Facelift is like the most iconic Mario Party minigame.
Probably.
Not to say it's my favorite.
No.
I think I would put it in A, though.
I'm good with that. We then have Balloon Burst. So Balloon Burst, you have to do timed button presses to pump up a thing attached to a balloon in the shape of Bowser, and the first one to fully inflate and pop their balloon wins. I was really good at this one. So
yeah, I was gonna say I'm putting this in A because I'm good at it.
So that's fine. That's fine. That's a good one. Then we have Coin Block Blitz. This is one where it's just got normal coin blocks from Mario, and you just jump into them, and when you jump into it, you get coins, and some of the blocks have like one coin, and some of them have a bunch of coins, and you can jump multiple times to get it, and it's just kind of luck of the draw. I don't care for this one. It's
No.
absolutely nothing. I would honestly put it in C because I'm not offended by it, but I don't
No, yeah, yeah.
care for it at
That's
all.
what I'm thinking as well. I don't care for this one or the other coin block one that's coming up.
Let's just do that one now because they're the same game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the other one is a 1v3, and it's called Coin Block Bash. And it's
Yeah.
one guy has a hammer, and he can break the blocks faster than you can. And
This one is more annoying to me. I'm putting this one in D.
yeah,
So I put the what is it? Blitz in C, Bash in D.
yeah, I agree. The next one we have is Skateboard Scamper. Skateboard Scamper,
Okay.
you just mash the button really hard to get to the end on the skateboard faster than the other guys, but you also got to jump over the thwomps or whatever, so you don't
Now I
fall off the bridge and into the lava.
am good at this one, but I don't like doing it because
No.
this is one of the heavy mash ones. You just have to just constantly mash.
Yeah.
Like I can win this one at least against the computers very consistently. But man, my arm gets tired, man. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of fun with it, but it's not terrible. I'd put it in B.
Yeah, sure, I'll put it there.
Sounds good. We then have Box Mountain Mayhem. This is one where there's just a stack of boxes in the corner, and you just keep punching them, and sometimes you punch them and they throw you back. And I don't like this one. I want to put it in D. I just hate this one. It's just not fun.
This one is okay. I don't actively hate this one.
No,
but
it's just not fun.
I do roll my eyes when it comes up. I would lean C. I'm not gonna fight you though. I'll put it in D as well because this one to me screams like we need 50. I don't know what else.
Yeah.
Just put boxes in the corner.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Platform Peril. You jump across the platforms and you just got to get to the end before the other guys and not fall off.
This one's okay.
It's fine. It's unoffensive, but it's kind of nothing.
I also got fairly good at doing this one. I'd probably put it in B. If Skateboard Scamper went in B, this one goes in B.
They're basically the same thing, so I'm fine with that. We then have Mushroom Mix Up. So there's a bunch of different colored mushrooms and Toad's off to the side, and he holds up a flag of the color of mushroom that is not going to lower, and you have to get onto that before all the other ones go down into the water.
This might be crazy.
Yeah.
This is my first S tier.
That is crazy. That's actually crazy.
I legitimately really like this one. This is like the only one that I have true fun with.
This one is chaos. This one is absolute chaos. It's just people will get onto the platform and stop immediately and become a wall so you can't get onto it. If you jump, you're screwed because if you land on somebody, then you'll bounce 6,000 miles, so you can't jump in this, or you're just screwed. I don't know. It's not fun. I would put it in A because I think it's iconic. But but if this is if this is your S, I will allow you to keep it.
To be fair, I think this is the only one I would put in S.
Okay, then we will keep it in S. But just know that I'm not mad at the game, but I don't love it.
You're not mad at the game. You're mad at me.
No,
S
not yet.
stands
But
for
we'll get
Skyler,
there.
ladies and gentlemen.
There
S
it goes.
stands for Skyler.
That one's his. Then we got grab bag. Everyone's got a bag on their back, and you run up to them and you grab it and you shake it and you get the money out.
This one pisses me off.
Yeah, I don't care for this one. It's not fun.
I mean, I just think the amount of times that you try to grab somebody and then, like, you go behind them to grab the bag, as the game title would suggest, and it doesn't work. You just punch the air, and then they turn around, look you in the face, and then somehow grab your bag. It's
naturally.
Put this in D. Put this in D. I hate grab bag.
Sure. We then have bumper balls. Bumper balls, you roll around on the balls, and you got to knock the other people into the water. You're on a little platform. I kind of like this one. I think this is like quintessential Mario Party, so I'd put it in A.
I would put it in A as well.
Nice. This one I know. I don't know. This one's pretty basic. The next one is Tipsy Turny. So you got like a little thing, and you just got to slide it around so that the shell rolls over each of the different tiles so that it flips over and you complete the picture. First person to complete it wins. It's basic. It's unoffensive. I would say B.
Yeah, B for basic.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
Speaking of B, we got Bombs Away. You're on a platform that rocks back and forth, and a ship is shooting at you, and it's pretty annoying. I want to say C. I don't care for this one.
I would say C as well.
Bop.
It's survivable, but there are certain shots where if the game it seemingly arbitrarily decides it wants you to die, you just fly off the map.
Yeah, I don't feel like I fully understand how the game works, and I also don't feel like I want to find out how the game works.
No, no, no.
Like,
no.
there's a lot of these that I have been forced to figure out how they work, and I didn't want to before, but like now that I
Sure.
understand, they're not so
like
bad.
like slot car races.
Like slot car races, unfortunately. Um, oof. Anyway, well, actually, like this next one too, Mario Bandstand.
Oh, I don't mind Mario Bandstand.
I did until I figured out how it worked, and now
Oh.
and now I'm upset that I had to learn how it worked.
You know what? Asterix. I never minded Mario Bandstand except for being conductor, because for years I didn't get it, but now I get it. And that sounds stupid because it's so obviously. I don't know. Something about playing it on the Switch. I was like, maybe the stick was easier to control. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. It's I don't hate it, but I kind of hate it. I don't know. I want to say C. I don't think it's good, but it's not bad.
Me personally, I don't. Whenever Bandstand comes on, I'm like, all right, I can do Bandstand. So I don't. I would think B, but we could put it in C. If you put in Mushroom Mix Up an S for me, I'll put this in C for you.
Okay. Compromise, ladies and gentlemen. This is how friendships last.
C for compromise.
C for compromise. The next one we have is Shy Guy Says. So there's a little pirate Shy Guy, and he holds up flags, and sometimes he tries to trick you. You just gotta hit the right flag, and then whoever doesn't it gets cut and drifts off into the sea. The only thing I don't like about this is that eventually it gets to the point where it's just like, who does it faster? And sometimes and if you're playing against a computer, really hard to be faster.
Yeah, sure. I like this one though. I think it's cute. Everything about it, even when you lose, the way you drift off into the horizon. And I do think it's funny when Shy Guy starts to basically cheat.
Uh huh.
He'll hold up both, and then you just have to like hedge your bets on which one's gonna stay longer, or he'll hold up one and then very quickly switch it to the other. It's
He's such a
I
little
don't know.
butthole.
Maybe it's him in his little pirate outfit, but it's cute, and I would say A.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree. I find it frustrating, but I do think it's charming in the same time, so
Sure.
I'm okay with that. The next one I hate. It's Castaways. It's the fishing one where you have to fish to catch the money. I hate it.
Yeah.
I've never been able to figure it out. I tried so hard to figure out how to do the thing to throw it to the shorter distances. Can't do it. Don't understand it. Don't like
I
it.
legitimately think you as a player cannot. I think it's broken. I may be wrong. I may be projecting skill issue here, but I'm pretty sure that if you're playing with a controller as a person, as a human being in the real world that we live in, you cannot get the first two rows. You're only getting the last one. But the computers can get the first two rows.
Yeah. It's based on how far you pull the thing back. I have been able to throw it to the shorter distances, but not with any level of consistency. Like I just
really?
Yeah, I just can't make it happen intentionally. It's
Interesting.
happened, but I can't do it.
That's
when
interesting.
I want to.
I still think it's broken. I'm putting it in an F.
Yeah. I mean, the lowest we have here is D, so I'm putting it in D.
Oh, I added an F.
Okay. Here, I'll add one. You know what? I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm adding one.
Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. We're adding an F.
Hold on.
Because some things just belong lower than D. The tier list for the Mario Party 2 already has an F. Because it knew.
Castaway goes to F because it sucks and I hate it. We have Keep Away, which is one of the two games where you work together, kind of, and you have to run past the little spiky boys and get the key to the thing so that you all get the money. This one's fine. I don't hate it. I would say B.
It's fine, but I do honestly think it gets points taken off because, in a sense, it's not 100% pointless, but it's kind of pointless.
It's a little pointless.
Like in a game where we're all trying to beat each other and get coins to buy things, if we all get 10 coins, then none of us got 10 coins. And I know that doesn't apply to, but what if this person has 19 coins and he's 2 spots away from the star?
Yeah, and you throw.
And then
there's a
yeah,
strategy
and then
you can throw to not let them get the coins.
I mean, all right, I'll put B on this one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, we got him, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have the other cooperative game, which is called Running of the Bulb. where you're getting chased by the boos and you got to run the light bulb to the end to turn on the light and spook them.
This one feels like homework to me.
I don't care for it. It's just keep away but longer, and so I would put it in
Yeah.
C, honestly.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll put it there too.
Then we have, I think, one of the more iconic ones, Hot Rope Jump.
Yeah, this one is iconic.
I mean, is all I can say. Like, I think that's about
gets-
right. I might say S. I think it's a really iconic Mario Party
boy.
game. It's A or S for me.
It gets to a point where if it goes fast. Well, okay, I don't want to project my Mario Party 2 experiences here,
Yeah.
so I won't. But I will say
Okay.
it's another one of those things. If like you're playing through the computers, they're not gonna lose. So you just have to be the one guy not to lose coins, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you tell me, A or S, you tell me.
I'll do A
It's a-
because I think it's
okay.
better later.
All right.
Then we'll do the next one is called Hammer Drop. So that is there's a guy on a
Lakitu's
cloud, there's a
dropping-
Lakitu. He's throwing stuff, and most of the time it's money, but sometimes it's a hammer, and if you get hit by the hammer, then other people get the money. And also you can fall off the platform, which a lot of the computers did for some reason.
Well, sometimes when you're running around with 4 people, I'll fall off too. But yeah, this one's okay. It's whatever.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, I'll put it in C. I don't like it as much as the B's we have up there.
Next up is Slot Car Derby. Slot
There
Car
it
Derby's
is.
super annoying.
Yeah.
But I got really good at it by the
Well,
end
you
of
have
the
to.
minigame island because you literally have to.
Yeah. So okay, when you told me about that, I hadn't done Minigame Island yet, and I kind of planned not to, but I ended up doing it anyways.
Yeah.
And then you have to at the very end, you have to do slot car races or slot car derby again, but you have to face a Toad NPC,
Mhm.
and he
He's really
does
good.
not mess up.
He does not mess
You
up.
have to have a perfect run, basically. So yeah, I got good at it, but I didn't want to get good at it until I was forced to get good at it. This was a game where like, oh, it's slot car. I'll just put my controller down. I'm not doing it. So I mean, I could put it in C, I guess, just because I know how to do it now.
I
But I
put it
still
in
don't
D.
care for
I'm
it.
putting it in D for its previous crimes against me.
Sure, okay, we'll put it there.
Then we have Bobsled Race. It's the first 2v2 game on the list. You just don't fall off the thing. You and somebody else gotta co-steer this bobsled and get it to the end of the thing faster than the other guys. That's all there is to it.
I kind of love bobsled race.
It's okay. I'm not offended by it.
I will. Spoilers for our next tier, the next game. It comes back, and I like it a lot more in Mario Party 2. I think they tightened up the controls.
Yeah.
So if you want to put this one in like B,
Okay.
then I'll put the other one higher.
I'm good with
than
that.
The next one.
The one after that is the other 2v2 game. It is called Desert Dash. Yeah, Desert Dash, and you're on some like cross country skis, and you have to time moving the stick back and forth with your partner to waddle down to the other end of the track. It's just a straight shot.
not
It's
get
really basic.
crushed.
I don't mind it, but it's not great. I would also put this in B.
Yeah, I'll put this in B as well. I kind of like this one. I think just like even playing with another person in the room, just the failed cooperation for this one's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And also, if you're paired with a computer, you just do whatever and you win.
Yeah. Well, because the computer will always like perfectly match you, so you can just slam
Yeah.
that thing back and
You
forth,
just-
and it's gonna work.
absolutely, absolutely.
Then we have Bombsketball. This is one where the person who starts with the bomb just wins. Theoretically, it's supposed to be basketball, but when you do a slam dunk, the wall explodes because you're playing with a bomb.
Yeah,
But what it turns into is if you start with the ball, you win.
a little bit. Was able to steal it from the computer a bunch of times, but like if we were playing with a friend of the show, Steven, I probably wouldn't have been able to get it from him, bastard. So, I don't know. B for bomb. It's short at least.
True. True.
I don't have a lot of patience for the mini games that just drag out and elongate the game.
Yeah, that's fine. Then we have Handcar Havoc. You mash the thing and the cart goes, and you gotta lean so that the cart doesn't fall off the track. That's all there is to it. It's basically just a mashing race, of which there are many.
I don't even know how I feel about this one, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I would just put it in C, B or C.
I won't fight a C.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and C.
It's just the mashing mini. So yeah, okay. Again, I'm good at the mashing, but stop.
Yeah, just sick of it. Then we have deep sea divers. It's basically the same as the other diving mini game, but you're on a rope, and your other player has to reel you in with the chests afterwards. To
Yeah,
get the money.
we put the other diving one in C. I'm putting this one lower.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
putting
I
this one
agree.
in D because you just
'Cause
okay.
it's not
Again,
as much fun.
if you're with the computer, you're not the diver. You're on the boat, which means your entire thing is just
What?
twirling the Joy-Con. I almost never got the diver.
Every single time I played it with all computers, I was the diver.
That's crazy. It never gave me the
I
diver.
didn't know it was possible to be on the boat with a computer.
Well, all I had to do was reel in my stupid ass Donkey Kong partner while he tried to get the big chest and couldn't do it.
Huh? That's crazy.
Now
Maybe
when
it
you do
predetermines that too.
when you do the mini game island, that one it gave me the diver and I cleaned house because all you have to do is just
Yeah.
dive. So I don't know. I just don't care for this one. It's got a long timer. It's got an annoying mechanic. I don't find it fun. D.
Works for me. The next one is the first of the 1v3 mini games. It's called Pipe Maze. The thing scrolls up and you got to really fast follow how the pipes go and then drop the chest in the right thing and then get the money. I don't know. I could never like accurately follow it. I got it right a couple of times on accident. I would put this in C.
C. I would put this higher.
Higher?
Specifically because yeah, we could. I would put it in B at least because it is so low effort.
Sure.
Like either A, you're good at following the pipes, which some people are. I'm not. I'm 50-50 on it, right? So you either follow the pipes and you're like, oh, boom, I get the coins, easy, done. You press a button and the mini game's over. or B, decided like, oh, it's pipe maze. I don't know where this is gonna go. I'm not even gonna try it. Boom, mini game's over. So
Yeah, but I feel like if you don't really care about playing the mini game, you can't put it that high. Like if you don't, like if you're just like,
well,
okay,
no,
well,
I look at it
guess
as
I'll mash through it real fast.
no, it's like a gamble. It's a gambling sense.
I guess I'm still gonna put it in C because I just can't.
All right.
I just can't
All right.
imagine.
Pipe maze and C. That's fine.
The next one I think you hate. It's called Bash and Crash. It's where one guy gets robbed. He gets dressed like Bowser, and everyone hits him with a hammer until he runs out of money.
F.
This one, when we were playing, just as a little behind the scenes, when we were playing together, this one came up like 4 times, and Skyler was the Bowser every single time.
F.
He could just like not get any money. For his sanity, I will put it in F.
F.
Uh,
Now, for the record,
yeah.
if you're up against 3 computers, you're gonna get. Oh, in my experience, maybe you can finagle it and not get hit at all. I always got hit once, and then if you just run in a circle around the map, they'll kite onto you and try to follow you, and then you can not get hit ever again.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're playing with 3 people. Guess what? You're guaranteed walking out of here with 25 less coins than you walked
Yeah, they're
in.
gonna beat your ass.
It is some bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one we have is Bowl Over. It's just bowling. You throw a shell, and the other 3 guys are pins, and if you hit them, they lose coins, and you get those coins. That's all there is to it.
I like Bull Over. I'm putting it in A because of the way the pins bounce.
Yeah, it's kind of cute. It is a little bit annoying because there's like invisible walls that you can't see, where it just like doesn't let you jump in certain places if you're the pin.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, yeah, because like you can only be in the form of the pin triangle.
Yeah.
So you can't you're forced into that point. It's always great when the shell's coming in and you've got one guy trying to get away from the rest, and then some stupid idiot, what computer or otherwise, is bouncing over to the corner. Like, no, get away.
Ugh. Then we have tightrope treachery. This one, you're walking across the tightrope, and the other people are in boats, and they shoot cannons at you until you fall. Uh, 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 C, but I'll do a B if you want.
I think this one's lame. I would have put it in D.
Okay, yeah, I'm fine with that too.
And the reason for that is because in my experience, the dude never falls. Like I've seen somebody fall off once.
I've shot the guy off a couple times while I was playing with computers, but
I think it's just really hard to do. I
Yeah.
kind of just if I'm the boat, I put my controller down. I don't care.
yeah.
For the record, not if I'm playing with other people, because then I'll be like, all right. Well, unless I don't care if they win, then screw them. But I would put this in D because I just think it's long and slow and tedious and whatever. But we
Yeah,
can put it
no,
in C.
That's totally fair.
Oh, okay, D it is.
Yeah, it's in D. I don't care. Then we have crane game. This one can just be free coins. You can just pick up the things. You're a guy on a crane, and you can just grab a chest and get free coins. Or if you want to mash it out, you can grab one of the other players, and whoever mashes harder wins. If the person who is the crane wins, then they steal your coins.
Basically, it is your choice if you want to be an asshole.
It's your choice if you want to like be competitive, or if you're just like, well, free coins. Ooh, here we go.
Worth noting that you get more coins by taking somebody who has a lot of coins.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It must be like based on percentage or something. I don't know. B. I think it's cute.
Yeah. B.
Then we have Piranha's Pursuit. 3 people are on a cloud, and every time they ground pound, rain comes out of it and makes the piranha plant run on its weird, creepy, spindly legs. And the fourth person, rather, is on a skateboard and has to mash real hard and jump over stuff to get away from him.
I'm not a huge fan of this one.
No,
I don't like being on the cloud, and I definitely don't like being on the skateboard.
no, it's scary. I don't like being chased.
Let's see.
See. Tug of war. One person is dressed as Bowser on one side of a tug of war, and 3 people are on the other side, and you got to spin the thing to pull the other people into a ravine in the middle where they will be eaten by a piranha plant.
All right, so we've got a handful left that have this mechanic, the spinning the stick mechanic.
Uh-huh.
We've done a couple that had it already, but we're getting to ones where, in order to win, you really have to spin it.
Uh-huh.
And I fuck these games.
Yeah.
Tug of War and I don't know. Maybe Tug of War can go in D for me because whatever. But there's one that's coming up that is like the reason for blisters
Lawsuits?
on your palm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. The next one we have is Paddle Battle. It's also a spin the wheel one. And it's whoever paddles harder. There's one person on one side and 3 people on the other side. Whoever paddles harder drives the other people into the side, where a little shy guy stabs him with a coin, or stabs him with a spear, and the coins shoot from the people who get stabbed into the guy who's doing it better. This one I think is worse than Tug of War because it's longer.
It is longer. And again, it really comes down to, are you against the computer versus are you against people? Because if you're against people, you got to do it.
Yeah.
And it's a long time to do it. So that sucks.
Yeah.
But if you're against the computer, it's much more easygoing, which is why I'm leaning towards putting this in C, because the Tug of War, it's a pain in the ass no matter what. You have to really do it. But it is for a shorter period. So
I kind of feel like for that reason, I would actually, like, I would have put Tug of War in C and put this in D.
All right, we'll compromise and we'll put them both in D.
Works for me.
I have no allegiance to these mini games.
No, hate them. The next one is Coin Shower Flower. One guy's on a flower, and he runs around and it tilts around. And as he does, coins fall and they will slide off, and he can try to collect them. But if they fall off, then the other people are in boats on the water around it for some reason, and they can collect the coins that he misses.
Now, this is a personal skill issue, but I don't like this one because I feel like every time I play it, no matter what position I'm in, I'm walking away with like 4 coins.
I do pretty well if I'm on the flower. If I'm in the boat, I'm not getting anything. So, I don't know. It's a C. I don't really care for it. I think it's ugly.
Yeah, sure, C, yeah.
We're on to the solo games, almost done. The first one is Memory Match. It's just just a tile flipping memory game. That's all there
Um,
is.
yeah, it's a bit what it's, yeah, it's C. I don't
See,
know.
yeah,
Especially because like if you mess up once, you're in trouble already.
yeah, a little bit. If you hit the
Especially if
Bowser
you get the
space,
Bowser.
yeah,
Yeah,
because you hit
yeah,
the
yeah.
Bowser space, you like have to sit down for a minute. Then we have the slot machine. I don't like the slot machine. I got good at it, but it's nothing.
Sure, C.
Shell game. It's just a shell game. You just play
Yeah.
this. Hey, you know that shell game where the guy puts the ball under a thing? Well, this time it's coins. That's all it is.
Fairly easy to follow.
I would put it in
Well,
B because I
maybe
think it
that's
like it's
sure.
easier. I think it's less annoying than the slot machine, but it's effectively the same thing as the slot machine.
Sure.
After shell game, we have ghost guess, where a bunch of boos circle around you, and you have to figure out which one of them is the king boo. I guess I don't know actually. They call him the leader,
Yeah,
and I don't really know.
I've got a problem with this
Yeah, I don't
one.
really know how you
The
tell.
problem is you're playing this game with your buddies. Let's say you got a full party, right? You got four people in the room, including yourself, and you get ghost guess, and then everyone in the room is like, "Oh, ghost guess so easy. I know the tell. Oh yeah, man, you know the tell. I know the tell." And then the game starts. It's like, "Oh, I see him. I don't fucking know the tell. I don't get it. Yeah, skill issue.
I think those
I don't
people.
get it."
I'm pretty convinced that those people are lying.
And then you got which one moves first? Oh, you got to look at the shadow. Shut up. C. I put it in C.
See, sounds good. Then we have the lawsuit. We have pedal power. This is you gotta spin the wheel super hard to ride a bike that powers a light bulb that scares away the boo before the boo gets you, and you gotta
Below
go.
F.
You gotta go. I'm not.
F
I'm not
minus.
adding a second new one. Let's go at an
F
F. It's the
minus.
most clear F, but absolutely fine to see.
F was made for this.
I
This is
discovered new spinning tech to avoid getting blisters but still being allowed to win this. And I found out that if you cup the Switch Joy-Con in the little crevice between your thumb and your pointer finger, then you can still do the palm thing and not die. And I had to learn that because otherwise it would have killed me to play this mini game.
so I refuse to participate in this mini game for two reasons. Number one, you do this on an N64 controller,
Yeah,
and you're gonna burn a hole in your hand. It's happened to me.
yesterday.
Number two, I feel like doing this on the Switch. I feel like I'm gonna break my goddamn Switch.
Yeah, I did feel that way. I did think I was going to break the little thing.
It's like this thing is not a brick like the N64 controller. Like this is we're in a civilized time. Why are you making me do this?
Yeah, no, I agree. The next one we have is called Whack-A-Plant. It's the most free 20 plus coins you're ever going to get. You just jump on
Basically.
you just jump on the piranha plants and you get the coins. I'm putting in B.
Sure. I wish it was a little bit more satisfying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it's like you can combo land on like 7 piranha plants in a row,
Yeah.
but it feels like you really have to try to do it. You know, it's not. I don't know how to
Yeah.
explain. Oh, you have to try the minigame. That sounds like a stupid complaint. But
Yeah.
it's just you'd think like comboing all of them would feel really satisfying, but I feel like I only just barely did it.
Yeah. Then we have Ground Pound. There's a bunch of spikes. Some of them are flat, some of them are spiky. And you got to see which ones are flat and pound those ones into the ground. And if you land on the spiky ones, then it makes your booty hurt. So that's all it is. I don't know.
Might be one of the easier ones for like across
It's pretty
the board.
easy, but it's also like not really anything special. I don't know. I'm okay with B or C.
My complaint for the reason I would lean towards C because if I get this, I don't mind it like at all. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I'll do it, and then
Yeah.
I don't mess up. But if a computer gets it, or even if someone you're playing with who's kind of stupid gets it,
Yeah.
they can get a good one, get a bad one, get a good one, get a bad one,
Hmm.
get a good one, get a bad one, and still win.
Uh huh.
Like they can mess up as many times as legally possible and still win.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a little unfair.
It's not great.
Maybe shorten the timer a bit.
Yeah. I put it in C.
Sure,
It
yeah, I'll
can
put
live there. Then we have Teetering Towers. I never figured out how this one works. I don't like it. I want it in F. I will accept D.
Okay, I'll put it in D.
Okay.
I feel like the F we've made a special layer of hell.
That's fair.
Well, no, wait a minute, wait a minute. You put the bash and cash in F for me. If you want to put it in F, I'm not gonna stop you.
I'm putting it in F. It's an
Okay.
F. It's an F now. Thank you.
I feel like
Thank you
yeah,
for your gift. It's an F now.
every single jump is like "Ah!"
Yeah.
in a not good way.
I don't like it. Sometimes you jump and you hit like an invisible wall and you just don't get to the platform and it doesn't make any sense and I never understood it and I hate it and it makes me mad. It makes me mad. It's the one that makes me the most mad.
Sure.
This one makes you mad. It's Knock Block Tower.
Yeah, this is another one where I never liked it because I would always mess up on the first punch, but then
Yeah.
I learned to get good. So it's C. I put this one in C
See?
now.
Okay. I'm good with that. Yeah, there's wooden blocks, you got to hit them to break them so that you can get up to the top where there's a chest. But if you punch the wrong block, then it throws you off the platform and you lose. That's all there is to it. It's annoying, but it's pretty simple conceptually. The next one we have is called Limbo Dance. It's the last of the ones you have from the get-go. I don't care for this one. I think it's whatever. I'm at like C or D. Like I don't like this one, but I'm not mad at it.
It's a little finicky. I don't like getting it. I'd put it in C
Okay.
because I don't know. I feel like in theory, the way to win is just to always be teetering on the edge of falling, but never letting it go that far.
Yeah.
But also, and maybe I'm crazy. We should have done some research on this. Yoshi has a big nose. Is he easier to lose this with?
I don't know. I was
'Cause
Luigi.
I feel like he is.
I was limber as hell.
Mm,
Canonically the stretchiest of the Mario Brothers.
mm,
It's true.
that is true.
And he hates CEOs. The last one we have, I put that in C. The last one we have is the one that you have to unlock. I actually don't have the name for it. I think it's something. It's like Ball Maze or something.
It's Super Monkey Ball.
It's Super Monkey Ball. Yeah. So you unlock this by finishing Mini Game Island.
And you specifically have to go to a special place to play it. I don't remember where you go.
Yeah.
It's like the bank or the store.
I think it's Grandma. I think
Something.
you just go to Grandma.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, there's just 3 different little courses of like thin snake-like platforms that you have to like roll a ball to the finish line.
Yeah. I
It's
like Monkey
whatever.
Ball.
It's
I'd say
cute.
B.
Yeah. B,
Yep.
yeah, sure. I'll put it in B.
Yeah. And that's all of them. That's all 50 of the ones for Mario Party 1.
Wow.
There you go. I'm not going to recap all of them, but the only one we put in S was the what was it called? Musical
Mushroom
mushrooms?
mix-up.
Mu-
You don't have
mushroom
any you
mix-up.
want to put in this?
No, I didn't like any of them.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, I liked some of them, but I didn't love any of them. We get to
Fair
we get to
enough.
Mario Party 2. There's be something I'll put in there, but no,
Okay.
not this one.
Okay. All right, that's Mario Party 1 minigames. And
Mario Party 1
I think that
minigames.
more or less wraps up our discussion on Mario Party 1.
Yeah.
We can move to 2 now.
Pretty much, yeah. The only other thing I want to say is Minigame Island. I prefer Minigame Island, I think. I really like I like Minigame Island except for the one part where it's like, now do Teeter Towers or whatever.
Oh,
But
sure.
then they let me go the other direction, so that was kind of okay.
Well, let me tell you, if you know that save scumming is a thing.
Yeah, which I did.
I do like Minigame Island, how it kind of contextualizes all of the places you're doing the minigames. Like, oh, this one's in a cave. This one's in Bowser's Castle dungeon. This one's in this one's on the coast. You know, it kind of
Yeah.
like puts it in an almost Mario story narrative, and I liked that.
Yeah, it's cute. So I think that's everything for Mario Party 1. We'll move on to Mario Party 2. I think we'll save our score for the end, and we'll do both at the same time. Because I think that's cuter. And I also think Mario Party 2 will go way faster because it's basically the same game. So
Yeah,
Mario Party 2,
well-
January 24th, 2000. It is 1 year after for us and 2 years after for Japan, although they may have also gotten it earlier on this one. I think that this game is just Mario Party 1, but like they tried on this one. You know what I mean? Like the aesthetic
Yeah.
is there. I think it is more fun and cuter in every single way. The only thing that annoys me about it is that there's no new characters to play as. I wish that there was at least one more, maybe two, but
Yeah, that
we
was
don't
a
get
bit
them.
surprising upon booting it up and being like, "Oh, no one yet, huh?"
Yeah.
I mean, I guess because most of the game is just the same assets, right? So,
It feels like it. Yeah, I mean the boards are new and there's some new mini games, and some of the old mini games are changed, but it's the same game. Like it is the exact same video game.
mhm.
The biggest difference in this game is that there's items now. So there's the mushroom, the golden mushroom, the dueling glove, the skeleton key, and there's a genie lamp
Mhm.
where a genie will show up and he says mushroom cadabra and he flies you to the star.
I mean, how can you not love that,
It's
right?
pretty cute. It's pretty cute. Um,
Right, right off the bat. So when we first played this
yeah.
together,
Yep.
uh, we were playing it with a group, and one person in that group was like, "Mario Party 2 is the best one." And at this point, I don't necessarily even disagree, right? I do think Mario Party 2 is better than Mario Party 1.
Mm-hmm.
But on that first game, boy, were we pissed.
Yeah. Well, because we were
And
getting
I
bodied by the people we were playing with.
that's true,
That was
but
the
I
one where
don't
they were
even
doing the thing you were talking about. Where
what
they're like,
pissed
"Oh,
me
this
off
one."
and what still pisses me off
Yeah.
is this game added a lot of things for the better. It also added a lot of time wasting, it feels like. Because they added the bank where if you it's a good mechanic, don't get me wrong. You walk by the bank, you have to pay 5 coins, but if you land on the bank space, you get all the coins that everyone's put in there. That's a good mechanic and I like that. They've added items. You walk by the item shop or land on the item shop or whatever and you can buy an item that will use so like there's mushrooms that you can roll higher because you're rolling more dice, or you can summon a boo to you so you can steal coins or a star, or the genie lamp, abraca mushroom, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so these are all good things, but I just the execution of it. Well, no. So okay, those things aren't even my complaint. My complaint is the battle mini game spaces. When you have 4 people taking turns, and the first guy lands on a battle mini space, and then you have to do the mini game, and then the next guy he takes time buying an item. The next guy has to go to Bowser, and then the next guy lands on another battle mini game, and then turns over. Now we do a mini game. A turn takes forever.
Yeah.
Holy hell! So that's my one complaint. My one major complaint for this game. Every other thing there is to talk about, I think for the most part, is they made for the better.
I would agree. Yeah, I think. I mean, we'll get into it when we're talking about the boards, but I think all of the boards are better, all of them.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't think
so.
there is a single board on here that I like. Well, I don't know.
There's
I don't
there's
think there's
one
any boards
board
on here
on
that I like less than any of the ones on Mario Party One.
there's one board on here that I'm not a fan of, and it's weird because I should be a big fan of it, but we'll get to it.
The first one is
Oh, actually, before the boards, we talked about the setup for the last one. Is everyone's just like, I'm cooler than you. I want to be a superstar, and they all start fighting that way, and that's why they start playing the game.
yeah,
This one, they're trying to come up with like, what should the name of this theme park be?
right.
Right? And they're like, I think it should be Mario Land. And Peach is like, I should be Peach Land. Whatever. It's this. It's obvious. It's just as petty as the last game, honestly.
Yeah,
But the fact that it's centered around like each one of the boards is a different area of a little theme park, kind of like a Disneyland type thing. This is a very Disneyland episode, isn't it?
a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's fun. It's cute. It adds like a meaning to the theming. Ew.
And the first theming is Pirate Land. One thing I like about this is when you pick the map, you
Yeah.
just start running towards it, and Toad's wearing like a cute little
Oh,
costume.
I
And
love
so in
Toad is
Pirate
the
Land, he's got like
fastest runner on the
he's
planet.
so fast. And when you pick the players that are going to be on it, they start running too. But in this one, Toad gets a little boat around his waist like a floaty, and everyone
course.
else dresses up like a little pirate guy. It's cute.
Love that. I
really
love
cute.
all the little outfits that they do throughout them.
God, what are the things about this one?
There's bridges you have to cross, and if you
Yeah,
land on the happening spaces on the bridges, a pirate cannon will shoot you back to the start. There's a lot of stuff throughout
yeah,
all these maps where, back to the start. That's a big part of this game.
yeah. And there's a shark that can skip you ahead. I think it's the same shark from the mini game in the first game. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's really all there is to it. It's not. It seems confusing at first, this board, but it's really not too bad once you're playing it for a minute.
Yeah, there's like a beach area, there's the bridges, there's like a jungle pirate islands type area, and then there's another beach.
Yeah,
And then another addition that they added is when you buy a star, where Toad moves to another spot to sell another star, but where Toad was, he's replaced by Baby Bowser, who you cross him and he takes 5 coins from you.
yeah. Which isn't like a super bad punishment, but it is funny
No,
that like
it's
if you're one
yeah.
space away, you're just getting screwed. The second board is Western Land. Western Land is the same thing, but with it's a Western theme. It's cute. You dress up as little cowboys. Toad gets a guitar for some reason, which is kind of cute.
Yeah,
The gimmick is
I
there's a train that goes around the outside, and he can run you off the road.
I think out of all of them, this is my favorite. When you win, the winner
Oh yeah,
fights
yeah.
Bowser, and I love that.
In
That's
Pirate
so
Land, you
great.
stab him as a pirate.
Yeah, you do a little
He plays like a villain. So in Pirate Land, he's like
Captain Bowser.
Captain Bowser, and in Western Land, he's like Bowser the Kid, I think.
Yeah, do a little swashbuckling pirate sword fight with him, and then in Western Land, you have like a little like cowboy showdown with little pop guns, and you shoot a cork in him. There's that like milk bar where you can make everybody go drink worm milk.
Oh, the Hootenanny.
Yeah, the little hootenanny. You can
The
basically force
Hootenanny.
everyone to come to a certain side of the board.
It's useful, but I didn't really do the Hootenanny at all.
No, I didn't do it either. I think I don't know. I guess when I say this one's my favorite of the boards, it's just the train, I guess, because
Train's
really
cute.
all the middle bit is really kind of nothing.
Yeah, the middle bit's nothing at all. My potentially my least favorite land is Space Land. It's cute aesthetically, I guess, that Toad gets a little jetpack and everyone gets a little spacesuit. The map is annoying. The board is annoying. There's these like space cops that can set up speed traps, and then there's these thwomps that drive really fast and they'll push you off the board.
Yeah.
That's really all there is to it. There's a space laser that if it goes off, it'll steal your money. But like
Yeah.
it's kind of like Luigi's Engine Room, where it's just like it doesn't look like anything.
No, this one's not my favorite. I didn't mind it that much. It does kind of bug me that the space laser only goes in that one direction.
Yeah,
It doesn't like fire and then switch to a new spot and then fire and then switch to a new spot or something like that.
yeah. I think it's fine, but I just don't care for it. The one after that is Mystery Land. I think this one's theming is a little weak because it's just like
Yeah.
Mystery Land. It's like pretty broad. So there's
Yeah,
like
sure.
one section of it where it's Stonehenge and one section of it where it's Egypt. It's like the pyramids, and it's just like okay,
and it's
all right, yeah,
it's almost like you're so like everyone's dressed kind of like 1920s 30s explorers,
yeah. You're like safari guys.
but then the map itself is very kind of alien themed. There's spaceships that like take you around. Also, it implies that bob-ombs are aliens.
That was an alien
Uh,
war in Mario's Cavern Canyon.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, so like pyramids, two big caverns. When I started this one, I played this one with Steven, friend of the show,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, I hate this one," and I was like, "Okay, well, let's see." And then at first, didn't. I had absolutely zero perception on what this map was. Like, where am I? Where am I going? But by the end, I feel like I had pretty good feel of it, like the 4 different circles and traveling between them. I ended up not minding this one too much.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably my least favorite, but it's not terrible. After that, we have the last of the original ones, which is Horrorland. This
See,
one's theming is a little weak to me because the costumes don't feel like they match. You dress up as like a Merlin-esque wizard, but the map is
Yeah.
all like ghosts and goblins. And it's like,
Yeah.
this
This one
doesn't work for me.
this one should be my favorite, but it's not, which makes me sad. And I think part of that is just the mechanics of the map. I think are a bit broken.
It's got
So when I
a day-night cycle.
Yeah, so it has a day-night cycle, which is interesting thematically. Like, oh, at day stuff happens, but then at night things get spooky, kind of. Although nothing really is different, other than the fact that at night the big thwomps or whatever, they can't move. They cannot be moved. You can't pay them to get by them.
Yeah, they're
And
like asleep.
so there was a point where there's a part of the map where the star was for me. The first star was behind a thwomp, and every time anyone got to it, myself or the people I was playing with or the computer, anytime someone was able to go down that road, it was blocked by the guy. It was like, oh, can't move at nighttime, and then had to leave. So, legitimately, this entire time I played on this board, 1 star was purchased.
Yeah,
And also, because of that, I was going like in the same circle the entire 20 turns, and I never got a feel for the rest of the map. I didn't go up to the top left or any of that stuff. It was I didn't have a good time on this one. And maybe that's just one personal experience, but I wish I liked this map better.
I think that's fair. Yeah, it's not a great map. I think thematically it's kind of cute, but then when you play it, it's just kind of whatever. Like I didn't have too much trouble with it, but it's not my favorite.
I just realized I want to talk about Boo in this game
Okay.
and how he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Because he charges you now?
Well, okay, sure, he charges you 5 coins, right? You have to pay 5 coins to steal someone else's coins. Sure. But in in the first game, you go to Boo and he's like, "You want to steal coins?" Like, "Yeah." And then he'll go and it's completely random. It's somewhere between like he can steal 1 coin or he can steal 12 coins, 15 coins, something like that. And if he steals 15 coins, you're like, "Oh, you son of a bitch, that was a lot." In
Yeah.
this one, they've added a thing where like, "Oh, Boo's coming to get you. Mash A as fast as possible,
Yeah.
allegedly,
Allegedly.
and to shake him away." Now, I could be like a goddamn mantis shrimp punching a hole through my Switch controller.
Mm-hmm.
He will steal 26 coins like almost every time.
Yeah, he always stole like at least 20 coins from me.
He never stole less than 20. But then if you try to steal from a computer, it was like 14 to 16, something like that.
Really?
Which implies to me I'm doing something wrong.
See, for me it was 20 across the board. Like it was always going to be at least 20.
I went with the hard computer a couple times, and that one was always like 14 coins. So
Oh
he was
yeah, I'm
doing
sure that
something.
they're doing something.
I don't get it.
I only ever
I
played
don't-
with
I
the
don't-
easier, the normal guys, because I was just like not gonna put up with
I
it.
don't blame you. I don't blame you.
The last board we have is Bowser World. You unlock this by beating all of the other worlds, and then they break into your hub world, which looks like it might be a room from like the castle in Mario 64. And they steal Toad. They kidnap Toad, and you have to go
Oh,
rescue
yeah.
him,
Yeah.
which is kind of
Violent.
cute. But yeah, in this one, the gimmick is that it's Bowser's World. It's an amusement park. There's rides and there's a parade, and that's kind of it. There's like a happening space that you can step on that you jump onto a spinny roller coaster, but it's just a like sub area that you can end up in. That's about it.
It's more or less the gimmick is like, are you going to get stuck in there? Which I did for a minute, but also you can kind of escape the parade because every 5 turns there's a little Bowser parade that goes down the street in various directions, which you can change the direction if you land
Yeah.
on a certain space.
Well, if you turn it a
And
certain
then-
direction, the parade just doesn't happen. Because for me, most of the time the parade just didn't happen. They're like, the parade got canceled. It just didn't.
Are you sure that's because of the way you turned it? I think that happens if no one's in the way.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I think if the parade were to happen, but no one's gonna get hit by it, it just doesn't bother.
That could make sense. If so, then yeah, like most of the time it wasn't gonna hit anybody, so it just didn't do anything.
But I like the theme of this one being an evil Bowser theme park.
Yeah,
That's fun.
it's cute. Don't mind it at all.
But yeah, more or less that wraps up the maps.
That's all the maps.
I will say thank you to the last map for not needing 100 stars to unlock. You just get it by playing the other ones. Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's like so much easier on this one. And that brings us back to our second tier list, I believe, unless there's anything else you want to talk about. A lot of the ones in this are just the same as they were in the first game with like minor tweaks. So we'll go through those
Sure.
ones first and extra fast because what's the point?
Right.
We have Hot Bob-omb. This one's basically the same, except that instead of having one loser, there's only one winner, and now you also have to catch the bomb, which makes it, in my opinion, worse. So I put it one lower than whatever we gave it last time.
I just have to find it. We gave it B last time, so you want to give it C, that's fine.
Okay. Crazy Cutter is the exact same to me.
Um, I don't disagree, but I felt like my marks were always lower.
Yeah, mine were lower too, but it's the same game. I don't know why it
It
was lower. Maybe they're more complicated shapes or something.
harder.
So,
So we
same
put
as
that in B, so you can put it in B.
put it in B. Facelift. It's the same thing, but with new faces. I'm willing to. If we give it an A, right?
Yeah, we gave it an A. I would still put it in A this time because I like that they added the 6-player faces.
Yeah, it's cute. Um, then we have Balloon Burst. This is the one where you pump up the Bowser balloon. Now it's a 2v2 game. Is the biggest
Yeah,
difference, and I
they
think
made it
that's not really much
they
of a
made it a
difference.
team game, which kind of I don't like that, but also playing it is no different. So I really no, I'm
I
not
would
sure.
yeah, I would put it the same as it was before.
Which I think was A.
Okay. Then we have Skateboard Scamper. I like this one worse than the first one.
I agree. I
It's
don't
more
like this
annoying.
one.
The platforms move. I don't like it, so I'd put
I,
it
I
one lower than it was before.
I can't. This one's so hard to win for some reason,
Yeah,
and let me tell you, doing the whatever it's called, the equivalent to the minigame island in this one,
yeah,
when they make you do skateboard scamper, it is hard, and I didn't like it.
yeah. I bet.
Uh, where
Yeah, where did we put it last time?
skateboard scamper, I think we put in. Oh, we put it in B.
Okay.
I'd put it in. Oh man, I would put it. I don't know.
Do you want to put it
D.
in D? Okay. It's in D.
Maybe. All right, it's in D.
Then we
I don't
had
see it.
Platform Peril.
Yeah, they just added like moving platforms and
I think that
stuff
makes
to
it
make it a
more
little bit more
interesting, but
difficult.
I would still probably
Sure.
keep it the same place it was before.
I don't remember what it was before. It was in B.
Okay, then it's staying in B. Um, then we have Mushroom Mix Up, but in this one it's called Hexagon Heat, but it's the same game. It's the same game.
It's the same game. And I feel like it being literally the same game makes it not an S. I don't know.
So you needed it to be mushrooms. That's what makes it cute.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't like the lava.
Well, I let you pick where it went before. Where would you put it now?
I mean, I still like playing it. I don't know. What psychologically does this say about me that I feel that this one's lower because it's in lava and they're not mushrooms?
I I can't help you with that.
I'm gonna put it in A.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't know. It's a weird thing of they didn't change anything, but also if it's like why would you change anything if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I don't know. Put it in A.
Okay, the next one is Grab Bag. In this one, instead of stealing money directly from each other, you steal mushrooms, and then the winner just gets coins. So no one loses coins, I don't think.
What do you think for this one?
I would put it the same. I think the change makes little difference to me. If anything, it makes it less interesting, so I might bump it down one, but I'm
Yeah,
fine
actually,
with it staying the same.
well, So yeah, you stealing money from the character directly. So like, if they only have 6 coins, you can only steal 6 coins. Whereas this, you're just stealing a bunch of things to get coins.
Yeah.
Makes it less personal. I don't know.
Yeah, let's put it one lower than where it was before.
See,
Okay. Let's go in D for being boring.
I might be wrong though.
Uh, well, the next one is going to be Bumper Balls. It's the exact same game, so we'll put it in the exact same spot, which is, I think, an A. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tipsy Tourney, also the same game. Where do we put that? That one's not moving.
Tipsy Tourney was in I can't even tell you how it was in B.
Okay, then it'll stay in B. Then we have Bombs Away. It's the same game, except instead of just shooting cannonballs, the ship that shoots at you now also shoots bullet bills and has a final shot. It's made it even less fair.
Oh yeah, I guess kind of. But I like that he has more artillery. He was in that one was in C before.
I kind of want to put it in D, but I'll leave it in C if yeah, that's what you want.
I think it's still in C.
Okay. The next one is Mario Bandstand. This is now a I think it's a 4v4 game now instead. Is
No,
that the big difference?
It's a
2v2. Yeah, I see that in my notes now. But it's the same game.
And,
Oh, and it's called Toad Bandstand because there's not a
and
conductor.
I might be insane. I might be crazy.
Uh-huh.
But so like you have one team on the left side and one team on the right side.
Yeah.
And the left side has to play their instruments first, and then the right side goes.
Mhm.
I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it scientifically. I think being on the right side is harder.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Makes sense. Sounds good. So what would you rank this one then? Where would you put that?
C. Well, C.
See.
We gave Bandstand last time a C. I was a little bit higher on it than you were, but I would put this one in C anyways.
Now you're lower. The Shy Guy Says, which is now called something else, Balloon Burst, I think, maybe? No.
Still called Shy Guy
it's still
Says.
called Shy Guy Says, but instead of being a cute little pirate, now he's just like a guy who shoots arrows at you. I don't know. Aesthetically, it's not as interesting.
They added at least a more obvious timer gimmick to it. There's the little guy that flies by the top of the screen, and that's your timer. When he disappears, if you haven't done it by then, you're dead.
Oh, I didn't know that, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I would put it in the exact same place as the other one, whatever that was.
I would disagree.
You would put it lower?
I would put it lower because playing this on the harder difficulty thing, this motherfucker cheats so bad, and
Yeah.
the computers do not mess up.
Nope.
I would put this in B, not A.
Oh, okay. Yeah, works for me. We have Hot Rope Jump. I think it's the same mini game, but now you jump to 40. It's not just like until somebody fails. It's you just jump until no. Is that backwards? Is it the first one you jump until somebody fails, and this one you jump until it's 40?
No, first one you jump until it's 20.
Yeah,
or
and
something.
then in 2 you just jump until everyone else loses.
This one you jump till you're the last man standing.
Okay, I like that better.
Yeah, I think I like that better too.
S?
So,
A? S? A?
maybe A, but you can put it. What do you think?
I'll put it in A. I don't feel strong about it.
Okay.
Slot Car Derby. It's the same. It's the same.
Well, I think they made it easier, or at least more
I think
able
you
to
just
control.
got better at it.
No. I think they leaned off on the spinning out thing a little bit.
Maybe.
I'm not saying it needs to go. Well, you put it in D last time. I would put it in C this time. I think this one's easier.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Bobsleds, but they're cute now. They're cute. They got they're penguins and they got little buttholes.
They have little buttholes. S.
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 I don't
S
need
for
to,
the
yeah,
penguin
I don't need
butthole.
to, don't say it like that. All right. Then we have the Desert Dash.
For the record, the penguins have the little X buttholes. It's not gross, okay?
It's a little gross. It's still a
cute
little
and
bit
cartoony.
gross. Then we have Desert
Also,
Dash.
they tightened up the controls, and it just feels more fun. I don't know how to explain other than that.
To me, it feels exactly the same, but they're penguins.
Well,
So,
that
but
should be enough.
I mean, yeah, it is. It's Desert Dash, but in this one, it's called Dungeon Dash. It is otherwise the exact same game.
They
so I
added
would put it
one
in the exact
extra
same place.
obstacle.
Yeah, I would put it in the exact same place, which
Sure.
was
Which was
B, I think.
B. Yes.
Okay. We have Handcar Havoc. It is again the same exact game, so we'll just put it where it was before,
Yeah.
which was B.
It does control a little different, but I'm not enough to make it
B, A, B, A.
C. We put it in C last time.
Okay, well, I guess we hate it.
Well, we could put it in B this
no.
time. I feel like it controls better.
No, I hate it. I've decided I hate it. Then we have bowl over. This is different because you have
You
to
get
hit
2 turns,
everybody and you
like
get 2
bowling.
throws.
There's a couple games like this crane game as well, where they've taken away the personal element of I got you, but now you just have to get everybody. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, Bowlover's still fun. I think the fact that they get 2 turns is both a little. Well, I mean, if you have to get everybody now, I guess you need the 2 turns.
Yeah.
So I think I like it less though.
Okay. What's one lower than where it was before?
I think Bowlover was an A before.
B it is. The next one we have is Tightrope Treachery. In this one, it's called Rainbow Run. It is the exact same game, other than aesthetics. So I would put it in the exact same
Yeah.
place, which I think was F.
Also, you
Didn't we
have
hate
to
this?
unlock it.
Yeah,
What's that about?
it's not worth unlocking.
They're like,
F.
literally, it's like one of the last things you unlock, and uh, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
Put this in F for daring to waste my time.
I agree. We have Crane Game next. Do you want to talk on how that one's different?
You have to get all 3 other players, but you can also pick up little time enhancers to give you more time. But basically, like if you're up against people who know how to mash the button, you've lost. So I don't really know. I don't like this one. We put it in B last time. I would put it lower.
Okay, see it is. Then we have the only other one on here that it says repeats is the slot machine. The tier list we have doesn't have the item minigame, so we're just going to skip that because the item minigames are kind of nothing anyway.
Sure.
So that would bring us to Lava Tile Isle. This is the one that has the little guys. There's like little cubes, and they move around. If you fall off, then you die, and you got to be the last person to fall off. The only thing I don't like about this is that it says to fight them, the other people, but the easiest thing to do is to just not fall off because everyone else is going to fall off.
A bit. Although I think there's a timer on this. There was on the roller coaster, like the minigame island thing. You have to survive this. It's really hard, and everyone's against you, and you have to be the last man standing. And there's a timer on it, which seemed a bit unfair. But I mean, I don't. It's whatever. C. I feel C for this one.
See, I agree. Next we have Shell Shocked. It's the tank game. I like the tank game. I would put tank game in A, or maybe S.
I would. You know what? I agree with you. I don't know A or S. You can put it in S if you want to. I won't stop you.
Okay.
I at the very least A. And you said you didn't do the roller coaster minigame thing.
I did not. Well, I started it, but I didn't finish it.
So, well, okay. Here's my complaint. Now is my time to complain about it. Actually,
Yes, go for it.
so there's difficulties to it. There's easy, medium, and hard, right? And I
Okay.
was like, okay, well, and the way they describe it is easy is just the first 3 worlds. The medium is like 6 worlds, and then hard would be all the worlds. And I'm like, okay, well, that's all the mini games, so I want to do that one. And it was like,
Sure.
no. You have to do medium first to unlock hard. So basically, it made me do it twice, which is upsetting because
yeah.
the first 6 worlds in the hard are the same. You have to do the same things just all over again, just slightly harder. It's really annoying. So what was I gonna say? You're gonna have to edit this part out. I just
no.
lost my train of thought completely.
You forgot what he was doing, ladies and gentlemen.
What were we talking about?
You were saying that you have to unlock medium to unlock hard. You have to play medium to unlock hard.
Yeah. So, right. Okay. Not unlike the first game where you have to get to the end and then do slot car again with Toad. When you get to the end of hard, you have to do the tank bit, and you fight 3 baby Bowsers, and they're all gunning for you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love shooting Bowsers.
Oh yeah.
I guess. I don't know. The next one we have is Toad in the Box, which I got really good at. Although the last two, you just have to guess. This is the one
That one's
where the box is spinning above you and you have to hit it
Yeah.
when the Toad face is up, and then you just
Yeah.
have to do it 5 times in a row, but every time it gets faster.
Yeah.
I can do the first 3 tiers of it consistently with no problem. 4 is a little tough,
First
and
3
then
tiers. Look at you.
I'm really good at what I
could
do.
do the first. I could do the first 2, and then maybe sometimes I struggle with the third one, and then 4 and 5. You're just like praying to get lucky, basically.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would say B. I think it's fine.
Yeah, sure.
If you want to see, I can see. There was a that made me think that you want to see. I'm fine with C if that's what you want.
All right, put it in C.
All right. Okay. I'll remember this.
Just
The next one
because
is
how annoying it would be if like you're doing really well and you're like, oh man,
you
I'm
just keep
almost there.
missing. Yeah.
And then you see other people are also doing really well. And it's like, well,
You're
my
like,
triumph was for nothing.
The next one we have is Mecha Marathon. You have to mash to wind up a Shy Guy robot, and then it flies. This one I don't. I dislike this one even more than other mashing mini games because you have to mash 2 buttons at the same time, and sometimes it just doesn't do it. It just doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
I'm dumb, but it sucks.
it says mash A and B simultaneously.
Yeah.
And I saw that and I was like, does it mean simultaneously or does it mean A B A B A B A B? Because what
Yeah.
So I did it and I tried A B A B and my dude didn't fly like at all. I'm like, okay, no, it means simultaneously. That's what I need to do. So I did it again the next time and I, mashed them both, just 2 fingers constantly. And I was able to break records that way. I'm like, okay, I'm good at this. That doesn't mean I like it, but I'm good at it. But then, come to find out, other people are like, I hate this one because it just does, I mash so hard. And I'm like, you gotta do it at the same time. So to be fair, I guess that's a reading comprehension problem because it says.
I mean, I would mash them at the same time, and it still like wouldn't. I mean, like it would go, and I would win, but it would be like barely. And I'm like, I know I'm mashing harder than these computers. Like it just didn't feel good. And there'd be that little line at the 20-meter mark, and I would never pass it, but I would still always win.
Yeah, there's a certain point where we have to draw the line on the mashing.
I just don't like it. I just don't care for it. I don't know. C, B, C.
Well, I have bias because I'm good at it. I'll put it. You can put it in C.
Okay, C. Then we have roll call. There's some guys, and you got to count the guys, and sometimes they're ghosts, but sometimes they're bombs. And when they're bombs, it's a little more complicated because they explode, and then there's less.
Actually, all of them can have people that just leave.
I didn't ever see the booze disappear. The booze disappear?
I think they can just like fade out and then not come back, and then I think
Oh.
toads can just walk away.
I never had,
Yeah,
I never
don't
even
know.
had the toads, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, sometimes you get a field of toads, and then there are rocks that are colored like toads.
That's cheating. That's
a little bit.
cheating, and I
mean,
don't trust
they're
it.
big lumpy rocks, so if you're looking, you can tell. But
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure.
I don't mind this one. I think it's kind of cute. The fact that they can leave or some can walk in like right at the end, I think that's a little unfair. Yeah,
I never noticed them doing that, so I must have liked it slightly better than you. I would say I would put it in B, maybe A.
Okay.
So B because you didn't like it.
Yeah, well, no, I did not like it. I like it. I just think it's
So B because you hated it.
yeah. B because of those rock that look like toads.
Okay, then we have abandoned ship. This one you got to mash to climb a mast.
F.
I agree.
F.
I agree. I hate this one. If you aren't mashing at the exact second that it starts, you lose. And then even if you are, you still lose. I'm really bad at it, so I kind of just hate it.
So the fish.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot not be hit by the fish.
Yeah.
All my homies hate this game, and I mean that literally. Everyone I played this with was like, no, bad. F.
It's in F. It's gone. Then we have what is it called? Totem pole pound. There's a totem pole. You got to pound it into the ground. You just butt bash it. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It's whatever. I would say B.
It's one of those things where, like, as long as you're hitting the trigger at the height of your jump 5
Yeah.
times in a row, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
But like, if you're doing that and everyone else is also doing that, It's just, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it fun.
No.
I would say C.
I I would say B because the other ones we put in C, we were all like, I don't like this one as much. Like pretty much all of them, we were like, meh. The B
All right,
ones were a lot of the ones where we were like, it's fine.
all right, move them down to D then.
Okay. Well,
No,
the
okay,
next.
I don't know. You can put it in B. I won't fight it.
Okay, it'll
We
stay
can't
in
be
B
here all
then.
day.
The next one we have is Honeycomb Havoc. There's the fruit on the thing, and you can hit a 1 or a 2, and you get that many fruit. But there's also honeycombs, and if you get the honeycomb, then you lose.
See, this is a bit whatever of a game.
I
Like as
agree.
long as you're counting, you can, you know. But playing in a room full of people, this is one of the funniest games that there is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was playing with friend of the show, Steven. Gotta say it every time. And uh, it was like him, my brother, and myself, and a computer. And the the counting was all working out. Where it's just like Steven said, "All right, good, we got out Donkey Kong." That was a computer. Like as all right, you can get out Donkey Kong now. Like okay, cool. And then I did one instead of two, and
Oh,
then Donkey Kong did one, and then Steven was next up.
oh no.
It is the funniest thing. So yeah, so specifically for playing for other people, I'm a bit sweeter on this one than I feel like I should be.
Okay.
I think a B, I guess.
B. Okay. I'd be willing to put in an A.
Yeah, A, I guess.
Okay. Then we have Sneak and
S,
Snore. I already
double
put it. It's
S.
too late. We got Sneak and Snore. You gotta move when the Chomp Chomp is asleep and not get eaten.
I like the gimmick of this one.
Yeah?
I don't think I like playing this one.
Nope.
It's very hard. Um, not sure. I guess maybe C. I didn't get a chance to like really hate this one like some other people I know do, but what do you think?
Um, I got kind of good at it. I would put it in B or C. Yeah, either one of those I'm fine with.
Well, put it in B because I don't hate it either. I like Chain Chomp.
Gotcha. The next one we have is Dizzy Dancing. A record player spins, and then your controls get backwards. You get set backwards, and you got to run to the middle and jump and hit the music note or whatever. I don't know. It's fine. It's fine.
This is another
It's
one that
whatever.
I got kind of good at. It all comes down to, I mean, I think, as long as you start, because you're dizzy, right? And you're not going straight. You're going in whatever random direction it wants you to go.
Uh huh.
But I think that's synced up to the way the record is spinning. So if you can like get a handle on that, like which way is front, and then start spinning with that, you can narrow in on the middle somewhat easy. Um,
I'll be honest.
I
I
don't
didn't pick up on that, and I still didn't really ever have any problems with this one. As I just spun the
know.
thing until I was going the right direction.
Well, let's put it in B then.
B. Next we have Tile Driver. It's the same as Tipsy Turny, but you gotta ground pound them to flip the tiles over.
This one I'm not sure is fair. Like
Okay.
I'm not saying I was like losing at it a bunch or bad at it, but there was a time where because I got good. It's pretty easy. You just like okay, that's the picture, and then you realize the order of the pictures. You know what you need to hit twice, what you need to hit once. Don't hit the wrong thing, and then you should be good to win. But there was times where I was hitting everything perfectly, but I noticed that somehow like one of the computers was like right on my ass, and I was like, "What are you doing? What's going on? Was your setup different than mine?" I never paid attention to anyone else's block other than my own, so I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. I don't. I don't either. I guess.
I would honestly put this in the same spot as wherever the tipsy
Tipsy
turvy
Turny
thing
is.
is. Yeah.
Okay. That would be B. So it's going to be. The next one we have is Deep Sea Salvage. It's the replacement for the other two diving games, but this time you're a submarine, and the coins fall from the top, and you gotta just catch them.
Yeah, this one's fine. Basically, you're just fighting like a big old fish fighting for food at the top of the water.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know, C, I guess.
Seems good to me. Then we have Magnet Carta. So you drive a cart that has a magnet on the front, and you grab the money in the middle, and you have to drive it back and drop it in your hole to get it.
Uh,
It was kind of fun. I would say B.
yeah, I liked this one when I had a partner who knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had a stupid computer that was like driving off the corner or in my way, I would be really mad. So, whatever you say, B on this one.
B. Then we have Sky Pilots. It's just bobsleds, but you're flying.
Yeah, this one's not bad. I didn't mind this one. This is the 2v2, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So one person is steering and one person is flapping the wings.
Yeah.
It's not really bad. I more often than not I was steering on this one. The when you're flapping the wings, it's really not a lot going on. As
True.
long as you just keep a rhythm, I guess.
Yeah. I agree.
I wouldn't put it in S like we put our penguin boys, but I'd put it maybe B.
B sounds good. Then we have speed hockey. I don't like it.
Oh my
It's just
God.
air hockey, but it's impossible because your partner is always terrible.
Yes. Well, that. Okay, but there's two different versions of this game. If you're in the front and if you're in the back. If you're in the front, you can't do nothing.
Uh-huh.
If you're in the back, then it's all down to you. So that's my review.
Okay, that sounds like a D. Is that good? You disagree?
Yeah, I won't fight it. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Cake Factory. You got to alternate stacking cake and strawberries with your partner. That's the whole thing. It's just timing it out with the. It's a 2v2. So.
Yeah, it's a little tricky though because not only are you timing with your partner, but you have to time with the conveyor belt and pray that the conveyor belt gives a shit about your timing. So you're grabbing cakes or strawberries or whatever, and then I had a computer once that just put the strawberry down first. I'm like, what are you doing? What do you hold that, idiot?
Yeah. I was always the strawberries. I don't know.
I got strawberry my first time, and then I got cake basically every other time.
So B? C?
B's fine, because this one's at least entertaining.
Okay, then we have Destruction Duet, where you break the statue. Two guys, you just gotta mash to punch a statue. It's whatever. It's like the most nothing one probably.
Yeah.
Here. I'm
This
gonna say
one's-
C because it's just nothing.
This one's odd. It is nothing, and I played this with a friend of the show, Steven, and he was like, he was my partner on the thing, and he was like, okay, so you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do the jumping, and we'll punch it like this, and it'll go like this, and I'm like, okay, and I just stood in one spot and mashed B, and we won.
Yeah.
And then every other time I ever did it, I was just like, I'm just gonna mash B, and then you don't have to jump at all. I don't even know why there's other controls. You just punch it. I don't think it works as it's intended to, or maybe it got nerfed or changed in like the port to Switch or something like that. I don't know, but C is a fine place for it.
Okay. Then we have Looney Lumberjacks. You just gotta partner. You and your partner gotta just cut through a log. That's all there is to it.
This one was oddly satisfying to play. I'd put this in B.
Okay, sounds good. Torpedo targets. We're just shooting targets. You're a little submarine guy, and you got to shoot the targets.
All right, the way you said that, all happy,
Mm-hmm.
makes me think you didn't have the experience I had with this.
I played it like once, and it was fine.
This is an F.
Okay, I'm gonna put it in D.
This is an F. If you, how do you know where the targets are? You can't see shit.
You just spin around and you shoot them.
Spin around and like, oh, there it is, and then if you're, okay, you can put it in D. I'll remember this.
Okay. We have. What's it called? Move to the music. There's a leader who does a dance, and you just got to do the dance that the leader does.
In a sense, it's just like a memory game. I don't know what it was about the way it was like you do this move and then your partner does that move, and then I didn't like it and I wasn't good at it. So, but maybe I just have a shit memory.
Maybe. You want to do C?
Sure.
Sounds good. The next one we have is Bomb on Barrage. There's a guy in a boat, and you throw the bombs at him. You
This
try to
one-
get him in his boat.
If you're on the shore,
Yeah.
it's really tough to land that shot.
I don't have too much trouble with it, but it can be. Because it's the same kind of thing as the fishing minigame, where it's like the depth is based on that.
Yeah. I again wasn't able to narrow in on what the game exactly wanted from me, so I didn't care for and if you're in the barrel, like it's scary, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you? I'm feeling like a C, but if you want to go higher,
I'm good with C. We got Look Away, which is just don't look the same direction that the leader is looking.
this one was stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's kind of whatever. I would say B. Like, it's cute and it's fast and it doesn't matter.
Sure, I'll allow it.
This next one I hate. It's called Shock, Drop, and Roll. It's a log rolling thing where the leader is like spinning the thing back and forth. It just sucks. I just hate it.
Yeah,
This-
so I've
for me, this is an F.
got two thoughts on this, or two remarks, I guess. One, I think this minigame goes on way too long for
Yeah,
what it is.
it does.
I think the 30 seconds is insane. Shave off 10 seconds to that, and you got something better. I also got to a point where I could never lose this. And I'm talking about on the wheel.
So F?
Listen, if you feel the hate, I'll let the hate flow through you. You can put it in F if you
Good.
want, but I
Good.
think I wouldn't put it that low, but I'm
Where'd
gonna
you
let
put
you
it?
do it. Probably D, but that's because I never had to do the lever. If I had to do the lever, I bet I'd put it in D because it doesn't look like fun.
It's
But
not.
but you can put it in F. I won't fight you.
I'll put it in D.
All right.
Then we have Lights Out. One person's got a hammer, the other people got light bulbs. You got to hit the people with the light bulbs and put out the lights. That's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. If you're playing against computers, it's the easiest thing in the world to not get hit. I would say B. It's whatever.
Yeah, it all comes down to, does the person who has the hammer know they're playing a video game? And if they do, then they'll probably win.
Yep.
But, it's whatever.
Then we have Filet Relay. You're all penguins, and one of the people goes by themselves, and the other people have to relay race to get a fish to the end of the thing.
Maybe I have some sort of penguin bias, but I like this one too.
It's kind of cute. I'd give it an A.
Yeah, I'll put it in A.
We have Archer Rival, as in arch rival, but they split it up weird.
Yeah.
There's people who are little targets, and you got to shoot them with
This
your
one,
bow and arrow.
as the target, I was like, oh man, it would be really fun to be the archer. And then as the archer, I was like,
Yeah.
So I don't really know.
I would say C. I think it's just boring.
Yeah.
We have Quicksand Cash. The leader gets to spin the sand, and everyone else gets money.
I don't think spinning the sand really means shit in this
It
one.
doesn't feel like it.
Let's see.
C. Then we have Bumper Balloon Cars. This one's kind of lame, but it's whatever. You got spikes on the front of your car and a balloon on the back, and you got to hit the other people's balloon with your spikes to pop them. But also sometimes your car just spins around for no reason, and then they can pop your balloon with no issue at all.
So because of the way that the driving controls are for
Bad.
this and the other minigame,
Bad.
it's like I described it as tank controls trying to pretend they're not tank controls.
Yep. Which is ironic
Where-
because there's a game where you're a tank, and they
Yeah.
feel fine there.
Oh yeah. So if you're trying to turn, then you can turn, but if you turn too much, then you're going backwards somehow. So more often than not, what happens is you're like, all right, I'm gonna get this guy. Then you end up driving at him balloon first into his spikes. So it's just very disorienting, not satisfying, crazy. And I don't know if it's on here, but there's more driving stuff to talk about that we'll probably hit at the end really quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's no. This is the last one I have on here. Is there another driving game?
Oh, okay. So when you beat the roller coaster thing on hard,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things you unlock, I don't know the order in which, because I unlocked a lot of stuff at the end. I don't know.
Wait,
But
sorry, real fast. Where did you put bumper blue cars?
oh, B or C, somewhere in there.
See, okay. Well, go on.
Okay. One of the things you unlock, not unlike the Super Monkey Ball game in the first one, is a thing called Driver's Ed, and it's 5 courses of you driving one of these cars through cones, and you have to drive them in the right order, and you have to drive them in the direction that the arrows are pointing. And basically, it's daring you to get good at maneuvering these shitty driving controls. And I played all 5 courses, and they were a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That one's not on this tier list, so we're gonna just ignore it. But you can say what you would give it if you want.
If it were going on the tier list, I would put it in B, because I can understand if you're like a kid that somehow managed to unlock it, that you'd be like, oh, wow, cool, and you just drive around and mess up and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But trying to actually complete the course, because it's timed, by the way, did I not mention that part? If you don't do it in the minute that you have, then you just lose and have to start over.
Yeah.
So it's just, I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's really, really, really good at the Mario Party 2 driving controls. And to you, I'd say, where were you on January 6th?
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
All right. So the next one we have is raking them in. That one is you're on a little crane and you gotta scrape the mushrooms into your basket. And there's poison mushrooms that give you -3 and golden mushrooms that give you +3. This one was whatever. I'd give it a B.
So on paper,
Yeah.
sounds fine. I couldn't scrape shit into my basket, like 9 times out of 10.
Oh no.
All those mushrooms would just like part like the Red Sea. So it really all comes down to, you not only have to have the timing perfect, but you also have to already have something near the edge, which means someone else has to have messed up already. So I don't... Whatever. Put it where you want. I don't care. I'm jaded now.
Okay, I'll put it in B.
Okay.
Then we have day at the races. You just gotta pick the guy who's gonna win the race. Pick the guy, watch him race. That's the game.
This hits all the marks for me. It's low effort. It's just gambling.
Sure.
And it's a big middle finger to whoever loses. One time I won, and I thought I lost because
Sick.
I chose Boo, and I'm like, how does a ghost fall on his face? But he does. He did it a lot. But he also teleports, and he teleported right across the finish line at the last second.
Way to go. So where would you put it?
Day of the Races is really cute. I'd put it in A.
Hey. Okay, and then the very last one, finally we're almost done here, is called Bowser's Big Blast. There's levers in front of a big Bowser face, and you just gotta push them and hope that the one you push doesn't set off a bomb.
So this one, again, on paper, is like, oh, this would be really fun. This is Squid Game in a way.
Yeah.
But every time I ended up actually playing it, it wasn't fun. Because, like, someone would go up there and immediately get bombed. And the next person would go up and immediately get bombed. And the next person would go up and then not get bombed, which means the last person just lost. And it's like, well, okay, the game's over. So I didn't really, I don't hate it. But I also don't love it.
So, yeah, I think I'm kind of on the same page. I would give it a B or a C.
I won't be too harsh on it because it's a cute idea. I'd put it in B.
Okay. Well, that's our final mini game. We are done with all of those. Those are our official and the official standings on how good all of the mini games in the first 2 Mario parties are. So, deal with it.
And if you disagree, you're wrong.
Yep. There you go. Now we know. The only other ones that are missing off of here are the item mini games, but they're all basically just variations of the shell game. So we don't really need to go through all of those.
In different ways. There's the one where you have to like hit the hammer on the thing,
Yeah,
whatever that's called, the hammer on the bell thing.
it's like a
And
strength tester.
yeah, and that one was all right. I got kind of good at that one.
Yeah. So we've gone a little bit long here, so let's try to wrap it up pretty fast. Uh, Skylar, now that we've talked about both of these first two Mario Party games, what are your thoughts? Where are we thinking? How are we reviewing both Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2? And as
So
a
in
refresher, we use the 10 the the 1 through 10, where 10 is a masterpiece, 9 is amazing, 8 is great, 7 is good, 6 is okay, 5 is mediocre, 4 is bad, and 3 is awful, 2 is painful, and 1 is unbearable. Where do you rank Mario Parties 1 and 2?
so Mario Party 1, I was going to give, and I believe I still am going to give a 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
Is that a bit high than you were expecting?
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, yeah, a lot of the mini games piss me off, and a lot of them are hard and whatever. Some are fun, but it's the first one, and it really kicked off, the Mario Party series. So it has to get some credit there. It's like innovative and cute. It's very cute. Um, so I think 7 out of 10 is what I'm going to give the first one. What are you thinking?
Well, give me your Mario Party 2 score first, and then I'll
Mario
do
Party
mine.
2, initially I also wrote down 7 out of 10. Like there's things that are better and things that I like a little bit less. Now after discussing it, I think I'll bump it to a 7.5 out of 10 too.
Okay.
So I think that's where I'm at.
Makes sense. I am lower on the first one than you by a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't think it's a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, but it just feels like it's such an unfinished idea. They're like, here's 50 mini games. Are they fun? I don't know, but we got 50 of them.
Sure.
All the boards are kind of the same and largely uninteresting. There's just nothing about it that feels like completely done to me. So I would give it a 5.5. I think it is between mediocre and okay. I think it is pushing up to okay. Like it is nearly okay.
Oh wow.
Where it's like you could play this game and you could have fun, but you're only having fun if your friends are like really getting into it. I feel like most of the time people are just going to be frustrated with it. Whereas Mario Party 2, I think is a step up in every single category. I think it is more interesting to look at. I think the mini games are largely more fun. The boards are more fun. I like that you get little costumes. I like the thing at the end where you get to fight Bowser at the end of every board. It is to me just a better video game top to bottom than Mario Party 1. So I would give it a 7. So I
Okay.
would do a 5.5 for Mario Party 1 and a 7 flat for Mario Party 2.
Which
Which,
makes our average grades for Mario Party 1 that averages to a 6.25 out of 10.
yeah,
And for Mario Party 2 that puts us at a
7.25.
7.25.
Which I think feels fair. I think that's correct.
Sure, I think I'm good. I can live with all of that.
Well, this has been an extra long episode, but I think it was worth it. There was a lot to get over through all of these, and I don't think splitting it into two different episodes where we just talk about basically the same game twice in a row would have been fun. So hopefully you guys are still with us at the end here. Sorry for the extra long episode, but hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, you can follow us, of course, on Spotify or YouTube. Hopefully you can follow us, and subscribe to us on both of them. If you're on one, go to the other, and vice versa. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG, or you can follow our Ready Set Replay also exists on Twitter under RSR_POD, and Skyler is on Blue Sky at Skyler8bit. Those are all the places you can find us. Please share, subscribe, get this in front of as many people as possible. We're still growing the channel, and we are hopefully going to get to at least a couple hundred in the first year of this. So I would really appreciate all of the help that you guys can give us. But until next time, play more games.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Jump right in, everything feels right. Let's play, take a trip back in time where pixels